The thing about the humans that strikes me the most is their propensity for hope. They have an uncanny ability to look into the face of overwhelming odds and, rather than flee or accept the inevitable, they choose to struggle. This tenacity is both what makes them uniquely powerful allies and horrifying enemies. It remains to be seen which way they will turn when faced with the destiny we have set before them. Should they fall to darkness, it may be too terrible a burden for my heart to bear, and they will pay too dearly for the cost of it. Perhaps it is all the time that I spent with Kyla Harper that has affected me, but to take a page from the humans' books, I prefer to choose hope. Hope that they will stand with us for what comes next. It is ultimately impossible to know. For all our power, we are not omniscient. We are fallible, like any creature, prone to mistakes, born of our shortcomings. Mistakes that lead to regrets, regrets that turn to melancholy. Suppose I should be grateful that we are so easily misled. After all, even Menmeth can't see everything. It served my moment of need, after all. I do not relish taking a life. No matter how I justify it as a necessary evil for the greater good, murder is still murder, and the humans are no less worthy of life than we are. I will never convince Asteros of this. Kyla, I miss you terribly. Delete that entire report. An excerpt
This is a
from
win
Braylion's
for
logs.
the good guys. Sorry. You can't pale moonlight at me and not make me reference.
There's we begin in darkness, and there's a beeping noise. The telltale signs of a television show telling you, hey, by the way, there's an explosive device in your near proximity, and you should probably do something about it before it goes tick tick boom. There are worried, panicked voices as Artyom and Esme crack open a keg and go.
Just cracking open a keg.
And then the bomb explodes and everyone dies.
That was the Stream Deck.
You take a second to go get that?
I'll get it.
Okay. That's cool. I got a fill anyway.
Hoping I didn't shatter my fucking piece of technology.
I'm sure it's fine. They're made of plastic. Plastic springy. As panicked voices fill the room, and we cut with a sting to the horrified look on Xandra's face, staring at computer monitors, files flashing by as they're transferred to a USB stick. When the monitor in front of her goes black with a red box around it, and the phrase self-destruct initiated begins blinking its crimson warning, the letters sort of flashing across her face. But that's not the only monitor in front of her. That's not the only monitor in front of her. That's not the only monitor in front of her. To her left, there is another, as files continue to scroll by quickly, and one catches her notice. Xandra, do me a favor.
Yeah.
I want you to make a education check.
Difficulty?
This is going to be at a -10.
Okay.
It's going by kind of quick, but you are still Xandra goddamn Sinclair.
Succeed.
You see a GM who's got the wrong notes up. That's what you see. One moment, please. You see. Here we go. You see a boy. He's a little chubby. He's got short brown hair. And there's something about the squint to his eyes and the shape of his chin that you kind of recognize. And while in the distance you hear your friends shouting, did they say something about a bomb? You're pretty sure the file you're looking at is a older black and white picture of a 1 GA striker. You have a moment here to skim through the file if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that when. Where's the bomb? How bad is it? Yeah, I'm gonna look through the file and then I'm gonna try to stop the bomb.
To remind my other 2 players, you're standing in front of a broken wine cask. Its contents, or I guess I shouldn't say its contents spilled out because there was no wine within. It was completely hollow.
I just think the computer's
Inside,
gonna shut down.
inside, there is what is very obviously, let's call it like a dozen or 2 sticks of like TNT. It's like just sticks of dynamite, all wired together and then into a metal box atop with wires running to the edges of the back of the casket. There's like a bundle of wires headed out. And it's just in there. And because it's a TV show, there's a small blinking red light on the top of it that's flickering. That's what the 2 of you are staring at as Xandra calls out your to you. What do you do? Or what do you say?
Looks to Esme. you, you see if you can fix this here. Hold on, and he'll turn and he starts running over to where Xandra is. What did you do?
I got files up the. There's. Teacher, A striker.
Yeah, I am more concerned about this. Do some.
Is there a countdown?
Change the channel.
There's no countdown timer. It's just a blinking red and black box on the central monitor. It's just a blinking red and black box that says self-destruct initiated.
We're leaving.
The other monitors just show the computers as normal. Again, the files cycling by. I'm going to assume for the sake of things, you stopped it when you saw that one, and it's just sitting there waiting to be reviewed. But there's also a bomb.
Is it a laptop?
No, this is a bunch of like big server like towers and stuff.
Like
Shit.
It is a pile of computers sort of haphazardly strewn about into
servers are rather
Batcave-like arrangement of monitors.
I'm gonna continue the file download.
Out of curiosity, looking at the amount of TNT there, because Cassandra doesn't necessarily know the radius of a blast based off of how many sticks of TNT, roughly how much of a blast radius do we need to be concerned about with what we're looking at?
Those sticks of dynamite.
Sure, give me if you're looking at it, give me a science. I believe science is one of the skills. As I system shock my way back over to.
Yeah.
Yep,
to this.
we added in science.
Give me give me a standard even. I'll give you standard difficulty on this even.
I skipped class.
It just looks like so much TNT. It's gonna blow up the world.
Who let them build a nuclear device?
I don't know if I die, if I come back as a ghost too. So I'm just saying, you guys might be okay, but I don't think
While
I
the
will.
files are going, can I shut down the timer or the self-destruct sequence? I had the program up for the...
You did. Unfortunately, All right, what you're gonna need to do is give me a education at since we've kind of been using that for computery stuff. It's gonna be at a -30 on this one though, Chief. It locked you out of some shit.
Okay.
As you're making that roll, I will say, Esme, what you do notice instead of the TNT as you're panicking and looking around, Brooke has run back up over to you, and she's kind of waving her arms like this.
I succeed.
Fuck you, no you don't.
I rolled a 28. I needed a 35.
Wowzers. Okay. Damn, Xandra's smart. Okay,
It's my
that's cool.
highest stat.
That's true. So, yeah, the problem is that you get into the system and the controls for it are locked out. You manage to get down to a higher administrator level than that. The problem is that once you're there, you recognize that this is you could turn it off here at the computer, no problem, and try to say like, "Hey, computer, stop going into self-destruct mode." But it's sort of not a fail safe, but my words are failing hearing. But it sent a signal to the bombs, and the bombs are going to go off regardless. So even if you take the computers out of this mode, essentially the fuse is lit. To borrow a metaphor.
Okay.
It's like trying to pull up the plunger after you push down the plunger on TNT.
Have the files
That
continued?
code has already gone to them. They're already set off. It's independently. In fact, here's what I'll give you actually for that success. There's not just one bomb, and that signal was sent to all of them.
Okay. There's more than one of those. We need to go. How much longer do I have on the files?
The files are finished, actually. Those just finished transferring. It just
Great.
happens to be that one is up and displayed. Meanwhile, Esme, while you think about what you're going to do there, Esme, you notice that as Brooke is waving her arms, she's pointing over to a section of wall that has several casks like stacked up set into the wall.
Artyom, can you help me with something really quick?
Oh yeah, no,
Big arms,
of
big
course,
arms.
yes, of course, yes.
Big arms.
No, quickly, yes. Would you like a particular vintage today?
Yeah, please, thank you. Brooke, which, pointing to
She's just
this
pointing at the
wall.
walls those three casks very emphatically.
These three right here, there's something weird about them. But maybe don't punch them directly in case they're more bombs, though. Maybe if we take them down.
What do you?
Go
What do you
over,
do?
just try and grab one off.
Okay. You know what? Yeah. Give me a. This is gonna be a toughness at -20 for Artyom.
Crit fail.
Ooh. Okay.
You just go with mental peril if you wanted.
Yeah. So here's the problem: is you're yanking on that door. Oh shit, my die. When playing role-playing games, I often find it's useful to have a means by which to determine random events. Sometimes you can't always just make a call in terms of what should happen next, and you should leave it to the dice to figure out how much somebody should be punished for making a mistake. When I do that, I employ 4d10. That is not what I need.
4?
No. I got too many d10s here.
Too many.
Here we go.
Yes,
Sorry,
I agree. Too many.
I still have all of my freaking dice from Vampire out, is what I'm now learning.
Yeah, that'll do it.
explain
So one moment while I change out my dice here. I'm definitely not fucking this up. Here we go. All right. Let me just roll a little bit of mental peril for my friend. There you go. Oh, that's not too bad. It's only 5. I actually rolled really low.
Oh, that actually does not break any of my thresholds.
No, yeah, it's pretty low. It's a pretty lowsy. It's a little bit of a bummer, but you notice. Okay, actually, I'll give you this. Here's something fucking weird, RTM. You go to pull and it doesn't move. In fact, it doesn't even like shift. You're pulling on it and it feels like you kind of hear the wall groan a little bit, but nothing about this bunch of casks budges, which is weird because you're RTM. This should be trivial for you.
It seems as though this is not wine that you will be drinking anytime soon. We can be going now.
All right.
Brooks.
Briefly back over while you guys think about what you're going to do next. Back over at the computers. Xandra, I want you to give me a. This is more of a scrutinize. Since you're deciding to stay here and not go with your friends, give me a standard scrutinize as you look over this file. And I continue to sort out my dice situation because.
Fail.
Okay. Sorry, doing things. Finding dice. Do. Dice are good. Don't mind me. Singing songs.
Channeling that Muppet energy.
Listen.
It's not a critical
Yes.
fail, but it is a fail.
Okay. Just a standard issue fail. Okay. We'll come back to what you get then in just a second, because you get some information, but it's not everything. Meanwhile, back at the door, actually, what we see in the TV show version of this is like it's just Xandra's eyes just going side to side and muttering a lot of like sort of dates and test results that are not encoded, but like completely just like experiment, test form A, subject A striker, results inconclusive. It's like that over and over and
My
over again.
hands
So you're
are-
not really
my-
getting anything useful.
My one hand
Yes.
is on the USB stick as I'm reading, and if I realize nothing is gonna come of it, I'm gonna grab it and run over to them.
Oh yeah. But we'll come back to what you
Mhm.
get in just a second. Meanwhile, back over at the casks. What do you do? What's going on?
Maybe.
Okay, so I will remind you as the GM, you can like look through this thing and search it if you would like to say.
There was panic involved. Yeah. And Brooke seems to think there's something interesting about or important here. And she kind of like plasters her face a little closer and just starts like. I'm sorry, it's Brooke. She's not very articulated, right? Doesn't have a throat. I'm sorry.
Is your character looking?
Yes.
Okay, then roll the skill
Yeah,
check.
no, I was gonna say like then you can give me a scrutinize there.
Okay.
Since you know there's supposed to be something here, take it at a +10. Actually, this is slightly easier. This is better than routine because you know there's something here weird.
It was a 50-50. Fortune?
I'm okay with fortune there for this.
Yeah. Okay. Let's try one more time.
I have to restart Stream Deck so that I can change it.
That'll do.
That'll do.
A 9 will do. Thank you, Fortune, for saving
As
us.
you are flailing around on this thing and pressing your face up against it and pressing your ear against it and smooshing like you're just like your eyeballs up against the wood, like looking, trying to figure it out, and you're monkeying all over it. Your hand kind of slips and hits the bottom spigot and turns it on the cask, and the whole wall shifts forward. Like all three of the casks kind of go and begin shifting forward. And as you look down at the ground, you recognize that there are actually scratches down there of like an arc. And the two of you back up out of the way as this whole apparatus swings out to reveal a hidden hallway behind a massive concrete, actually steel, like concrete on one side, but steel behind that slab. Whatever it was, they wanted to keep something in here.
I don't know if this is a way out, but and she just like gestures wildly to now this passage and is like, Sandra, we should move.
It's...
Xandra, meanwhile, over on the computer. So you get past all of this useless crap, and then you get kind of down to the bottom, and there's like essentially kind of a very clipped short biography before you're interrupted by your friend saying, Xandra, we gotta fucking go. You glean that A Striker doesn't exactly just work for the cult. He's worked for the cult since he was born into it in the 1970s? Yeah. 2020. Back 40. Yeah. He's born in the late 70s. If I'm doing my math right, considering how old he is. And you get the impression that you're not sure how willingly he was a participant in all of this, but in the early days of the cult, he definitely was part of some experiments and didn't get them what they were looking for. But he definitely came out of it with some kind of inner fire capabilities, just not inside the scope of what they were hoping for. But before you can get any deeper into the file, that's when Esme's calling you over.
I immediately grab the USB stick and run.
The screen goes dark. Or not the screen goes dark, but like the file kind of like, because it's TV and that's how it works, of course. And you rush over. The three of you are now staring at a like concrete hallway with like a single like big fluorescent like line heading down it. It's not a very long hallway. You're seeing a door on the left that just kind of looks like an office door, honestly. But there doesn't seem to be anything else of note in the hallway.
We could go close the door behind us, put a little something behind us, right?
I think that would.
Concrete and steel. Do I feel like this would be any sort of protection?
From the self-destruct sequence?
Yes.
Give me another science, actually.
Oh, I get the roll of science. What is the difficulty?
Standard for you. You've got more information than you realize. Success?
Fail.
Oh, sorry, I talked over you again.
Fail.
Fail. You have no idea. You know there's a lot of bombs. You don't know where they are in the building. Maybe this is safe, maybe this isn't. You can't tell. It said self-destruct. Does that include this area? Or is this some kind of like a bunker? Who knows?
sitting here splitting hairs about what we do.
The ghost said there were kids here, right? I
Oh,
really don't want kids to explode.
I don't know if they heard them on the monitors or not.
Fine, and
Let's
he just runs.
Yeah. There's
You're-
no fighting.
you're running-
So
how do you-
fight. Yeah.
Are you bashing through this door? Are you opening it gently?
No,
Are
he will
you
kick
jump
it.
kicking through?
RTMV doors.
Yeah.
It-
Fuck doors.
A
Yeah, fuck doors.
good old Leonidas special.
Yeah.
Okay. Boom. Like it's I you could roll for it if you want, but you succeed.
You have a favorite enemy?
You would just roll
Doors.
damage at that point. It's
think so.
honestly it is. It's your favorite enemy. We see RTM take off, and we cut to a reverse shot of the door, so we're seeing the interior of the room, and the whole door buckles in half. Like it goes like from this to boom as like a footprint, as an RTM sized like embossed footprint hits the middle of the door, and the entire thing explodes into and then past the camera. It goes kind of like whoosh at us and passes through the camera. And then there, like, you know, post Leonidas is our good friend RTM just having just boomed that door. We hear it like slam clatter against the far wall. But it's his form as he dashes into the room. And from the other side comes a familiar, bemused voice asking, "Okay, I don't know that was really necessary." And RTN stops and turns, and so what you see in here, it just looks like an office. There's a very plain metal desk. If you've ever been to either any office run by the United States Army or any surplus
Oh
for
my
like
God.
government options, it's just a metal desk sitting there, just a plain metal desk, with like a crummy office chair sitting behind it, like a little low-backed, no-armed office
Laminated
chair.
top. So it
Yeah,
looks
there's like one of those
wood.
like and there's two like olive green filing cabinets. Actually, it's more than two. There's probably like 4 or 5 just kind of lining the walls. There's a small framed picture of a mountain with some forest like stuck on the wall. A single fluorescent light along the ceiling illuminates the room with its kind of buzzy, sickening glow. There's a second chair, just a folding chair on the other side of the desk, and a green fern that has not seen nearly enough daylight in the corner behind the desk. Along one of the walls, it's a clock, like a clock you would see at a hospital, just kind of ticking along, tick tick. And there at the desk, actually not even at the desk, he's sitting in the folding chair, leaning on the back of it, sitting reverse style, is one Mr. Art Teacher himself, a striker, just sitting there in his ugly yellow polo and his khakis, kind of dolloped onto the chair, just regarding RTM with equal parts bemusement and disinterest as he kicks in the door to the room.
You're not the person I expected to see here.
Xandra's running behind Artyom at this
You
point.
know, same.
But with the knowledge of what she saw in the computers, is running by. It's like, all right, I think A Striker has Carl.
What?
Where is my friend the log?
He's with the cult.
Oh, found out that little fun secret. What was the first thing that tipped you off?
Xandra, she told me just now.
Nothing.
As
As
they
I
were
pocket the USB.
Just to make sure, because like, so the two of you are definitely in the office now with him. Esme, where are you at?
Standing at probably
you
like
follow?
at the threshold a little behind because Xandra had rushed forward and RTM had sparred the door.
He kind of leans around to get a look at you and like ignores either of the other two. It's, "Hi, Esme." And just kind of gives you a little wave as he leans on the back of the chair.
Are you sure, Xandra?
Yeah, since the late 70s when he was born. You were an ugly kid. Sorry.
Well, I got that a lot. But now that you three are here, and he kind of gets up and stretches. That simplifies things a little bit.
There's a
So-
bell about to go off. What's simple?
I found it
Oh,
very simple. We need to leave.
Yes, well, I need to leave. The three of you can stay as my guests. In fact, please have a seat, make yourselves comfortable. And she kind of like gets up and walks over towards the door. Esme, please come in, have a seat, be comfortable. There's no reason for us to face the end here in discomfort.
No. He slides in the way. There is far more explaining that needs to be done, so we are all going to be leaving, and then we are going to have long conversation about why you wear such terrible shirts.
I was really hoping we could do this the easy way. All right, fine. If it has to be like that, and you notice that the room is getting bigger? Like the walls are kind of almost stretching a bit. This you look around, you notice you're past the threshold now. That's a little odd. You don't remember entering the room, but you're inside the room.
No.
And he kind of takes a half step back and folds his arm and regards the three of you. So listen, obviously I've had a bit of a falling out with the cult. Our interests, they aligned for a while. Nowadays, though, they seem a little too keen on blowing me up, which I don't really much care for. And the room gets bigger. So what I'm thinking instead is I leave through the exit you just created. See, they locked me in here because I was a liability, I guess. I don't know, something about blowing cover or whatever, but hey. Yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. And the room gets slightly bigger still, and he's getting bigger. And he's smiling, and his smile gets bigger.
Is there any way I could shut him down, also known as counterspelling?
You can attempt a counterspell.
I'm running real low on EX. Yeah, I'm gonna attempt it, because if it works, be good.
Go for it. It's only one.
Go for it.
Wait. Yeah. Yeah, it's only one.
I succeed.
What does that look like? Describe that to me.
Xandra's arm comes up after she had pocketed the USB, but in the process had re-dragged the bracers along the inside of the coat, and as she came up, there's just a line of needles in a vertical, basically meant to hit all of his gates at the same time. As her wrist flicks and all of them go shooting out towards him. There's these little streaks of light. I think, what's his name from Helsing? Walter? Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Don't mark down your EX. You fling your arm up, and you don't see a collection of needles. You see a collection of pigeons. Like a magic show. Fly out from your arm and flutter to the corners of the room before sort of... It's like the room is still containing them, but somehow they're getting further and further into the distance, like they're shrinking almost as they fly away, and the room gets bigger. And you glance behind you as you do this. There's no door there anymore.
It's me.
And the room turns yellowish.
Oh god, that flips.
Esme, you've seen this place before, actually.
Esme's shaking hand reaches out for her. Was ever closer. This isn't how the dream goes, but I had a dream like this, and it doesn't go this way. So if it goes the way I dreamed, it's gonna be okay.
The dream doesn't matter. We're getting out of here, and this one's coming with us.
The desk transmogrifies into the kitchen table. The what do you call them? Filing cabinets. The filing cabinets morph together to form that ugly green refrigerator the view of the mountains sort of transmogrifies into a window through which you can see only a bright light and a vague suggestion of what should be a street scene outside. The two office chairs becoming those ugly plastic 70s like kitchen chairs, the floor becoming that ugly tile, sink and countertops kind of come out of the wall as this whole scene transmogrifies into that kitchen that we saw 2 episodes I think ago, that it was. And he's a striker's like the light in the room is constant, and yet somehow he gets more and more in shadow as his form stops being this pudgy art teacher with his tiny crummy like balding ponytail situation, and instead it becomes this creature of like obsidian and night, bleeding into the surrounding area as the pupils in his eyes disappear and they become these massive, insidious, grinning features. This smile that spreads too big and too sharp, and he begins to tower over the 3 of you. And he says, "This is my house." What do you do?
Artyom would steel himself and shoot for the legs.
Artyom, I want you to make a I'm thinking here. This is actually going to be focus. Weirdly enough, and it's at a -10 here. As you just try to what are you kicking at this guy's legs, punching at his legs, grabbing his legs?
Shooting for the legs, literally like Olympic style.
Oh, like shoot fighting, like got it. He's trying to like grapple
him. That's a fail.
You got my vote.
Okay. Let's go.
Swap the dice.
2 fails in a row is not.
Swap the dice. Swap the dice.
Pick up, turn the dice tray, reset.
That'll do.
See, it worked.
By 7, but it's close, but it'll do.
It's all that matters. That'll work.
You start running towards him, and it's like the ground it's not even like the ground is made out of molasses. It's like your legs are under like in quicksand or concrete. You're trying to move through this awful like ball pit style like resistance of gravity. And like the ground beneath you, like when you put your foot down to keep moving, it's like it bends and warps, pulling up the floor a bit behind you, and you're trying to make progress towards him, and it's really, really fucking hard. And he kind of just like, there's just this laughter, this as the mouth like the jaw is too low and the teeth too many as he bellows, and you don't hear it from him, you hear it from the walls around you. I'm sorry, I was unclear. This is my house. You don't have any power here. Don't you get it? This is a nightmare, and I am Mr. Nightmare.
Well, then all we have to do is wake up.
Sorry?
And Xandra pipes up, then all we have to do is wake up, and she's going to grab one of the needles that she knows she has on her and stab her own leg.
Give me a focus check at -10.
Okay. I failed by 2. Are you okay with it?
Yeah.
Try.
Yeah.
Science. For science.
No. Like, if it's a coin flip.
Yeah, there's literally a coin flip. That'll do. It's a 6.
Yeah.
You plunge it into your leg, and it smarts. Like it was a fast, intentionally painful jab.
I know where the nerve endings are.
And you hit one, and it hurts like a motherfucker. It's your weird tiny needles, so we don't see like a a streak of blood or anything emerge from the wound. But as you jab it in again, there's that moment of like this weird resistance, and like it's like the reality of your leg sort of bends inward, like you're made out of plastic almost, and you feel the impact, and then it's like your skin bulges back outward. It goes from concave to whoop out again, and the needle doesn't move, so it's like yeah, it's like goes up into it. But I mean, it doesn't make that noise. It just kind of silently slides in there, and there's a shockwave of pain to your brain. You're still here, but you definitely felt pain. You definitely affected something.
It's not a dream if I feel pain.
It's a dream. You could feel. It doesn't matter if this is your house. I think it's time you need to go. And she's gonna try and Horde of Vermin, the diabolic infestation, bring her ghosts out and see if they respond.
Okay.
I don't know if she's smart enough to think, let's wake up, because it didn't work for you. She knows the emotion.
I
did.
Okay.
Well, actually, here's what I'll give you on that front. Before you cast this spell, I want Esme specifically to make an awareness, because you've been in this specific situation for very recently. Blah,
Yeah.
blah.
I mean, quietly humming set the universe on fire. That's what worked last time! Don't laugh, Artyom!
Don't have character laughing, but okay.
It's an 18. Yeah, success.
It is a dream, and you remember, and you remember that you need to take a drink of water. Excuse me. one
Hydrate!
moment.
Does dragon tea count?
In certain circles.
It's liquid. There's water in it somewhere.
I think it's the first ingredient.
There we go.
No, it's brewed tea, filtered water, green and black
Which is
tea.
filtered water.
There you go.
There we go.
Apologies,
Yeah. Look at this.
apparently my Mr. Nightmare voice earlier did some damage.
Yeah.
There we go. You remember that dreams are fucking weird that way. They don't follow normal logic. If you try to wake up, or if you try to run at something, you kind of have to move along with the absurdity of a dream, and from there you can kind of start lucid dreaming rather. So it's you need to make yourself aware that you're in a dream, and then also act along those lines. If that makes any sense, you need to be like actively thinking about everything you're doing. You can't rely too much on instinct in this place. That all pops into your head. It's about being very aware of what you're doing. And a lot of what you guys do is you're working on old automatic habits. It's hard for you to break out of that. It takes an effort. It takes a moment to focus in and actually do something. That comes to your mind.
I'm thinking. This is a horrible sound. I regret everything. Yeah, so no, you're right, but if you think enough about it, just go with it. Oh, just go with it, but it's not real, but it is enough. Just think about how you would deal with it, right?
I just stabbed myself.
No. She's humming the Stellar Age thing. And she's humming it, and then she's stopping. She's like, just work within it. It's gonna be fine. Because we're together, and you can't be together alone in a dream. You dream alone, but we're together.
Like very, very confused right now.
I'm very confused as well, and I'm not singing that song.
As you hum, you actually hear another voice. And stepping behind you, Esme, because you had started to kind of cast a spell, use an art rather. Jesus, system shock. And it takes you a second to really recognize, and you turn and look, and there's a man standing there. He's a younger man. Let me double check and make absolutely sure I haven't actually written down. No, I've never written down a description of him. All right, so you know what? We'll say that he's got his hair is short, but not like military short. Like he's got like a guy's haircut. It's parted off to one side. It's a light brown. His skin is kind of pale. He's got these very dark brown eyes. And he's got this smile on his face as he's humming. He's clothed in these sort of dark navy blue scrubs. And he's got his hands kind of in the pockets of the scrubs. There's no rebar sticking through his chest. And he doesn't have a big IV stand with him. His sneakers look impeccable. He seems to enjoy buying expensive shoes. You think they might be Jordans. And he's humming as he kind of walks up behind you. He's got this sort of ghostly blue, like outline glowing aura. It's not quite that he's, hanging out on Dagobah like with Luke on a log somewhere. I know. It's not. He's still fully colored, but there's sort of that outline, like he's a ghostly presence. Luther's just standing there, and he's flush with life. It looks like his eyes seem more aware and like they're looking around. And he kind of comes up behind Esme as she's trying to explain this, and he just says, "I mean, it's all about positive thinking, right?" And he turns to Xandra and Nartium, and like looks at the both of you with these very aware, very alive eyes
Do
that
we
you're
see
just
him?
not used to seeing. Oh, you see him. You see him fully. You both of you see this guy walk up with his hands kind of shoved down in his pockets, and he regards you and says, "I mean, you just gotta visualize, right? You gotta think it before you do it." And the giant form of Mr. Nightmare, now towering over the three of you. This guy's easily 10 feet tall at this point. And like from his sort of shadowy form, like these two arms sort of unfurl, these pointy, bent tendrils, with like sharp, not quite flames, but these sharp flickers of shadow, like they are flames, kind of coming off the back of it. His hands curled into like the talons of a bird, ending in these sharpened obsidian claws that kind of glint against the pale yellow light of this room that is too big to be a kitchen. And he bellows like, "No, enough of that now. It's time for good little children to sleep." Roll for initiative.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, it's the one, right?
Yeah,
Got
it's the
confused for a second.
I instinctively pick up 2 when we're rolling dice in this system. That's a really good initiative.
And it's plus perception, right?
It's plus your perception bonus, yeah.
Wait, I also
I match you.
instinctively picked up 2 dice.
Oh.
Who's got the higher perception bonus?
4.
4.
Okay, so you rolled literally the same thing. Okay.
7.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, hang on. RTM, what did you get?
A 15.
15, solid. And then the two of you got the same thing?
Yes.
With the same bonus.
Okay. Well, what did you roll?
11. Or we rolled 7s, but it's an 11 total.
Yeah.
Yeah, you both got an 11 total. Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to, we're going to keep that 11, but roll off to see which one of you is going first.
6.
5.
All right. So, the way this breaks down then is our initiative roster goes Artyom, then Mr. Nightmare, then Esme, then Xandra. So it's going to go 1 for you, he goes, 2 of you go. And then the round starts again. Yeah. So starting at the start, it is you are on an ugly tiled floor. There is a kitchen table here. The room feels like you're looking at it almost through a fisheye lens, the way it's kind of like bent. Like you stand on the floor and it feels even, but when you look at it, it looks like it's curved. Like you're playing a game, like you're playing Quake with the FOV turned up way too high.
Wow.
Listen,
Man.
like I did that and I did fisheye lens. Between the two, I think people are gonna get there.
Yeah, no, we got there.
And so like the edges of the room feel more bent around than they are. And this Ace Striker, this nightmare, this Mr. Nightmare, is just this terrible form of vaguely humanoid shape, but you don't see like distinct legs. It's like he's wearing a big coat or cloak. It's like solid blackness from sort of the shoulders down to the floor. And then there's those spindly arms I told you about earlier that unfolded that are almost as long, like they almost reach down to the floor themselves. In fact, if they weren't bent up in this kind of ready pose, they would probably, his knuckles be scraping the ground. And then there's just his awful head of just like solid white glaring like these angry like eyes and a grin that's way too fucking just it's the worst. It's the worst. It's like the Cheshire Cat from hell.
Aku.
You hate it. Huh?
It's like a 3D Aku.
Yeah. Yes, you're phasing off against 3D Aku.
Yeah,
I didn't think about that when I designed
all
this
those
guy.
beautiful adjectives. But
No, that was great, but it sometimes
Yes.
evoking a specific image
I can't
Yeah,
recall.
no, you're right. It's totally Aku.
brings it all together. No, in a good way.
Hey, you know what? No, that's the thing. If I'm gonna reference anything, I'm okay with referencing fucking Samurai Jack. That show's just fine and completely in line with what we've been doing. So I'm okay with this comparison. So who wants to go first and try to fight a nightmare?
I'm okay ceding my initiative to either of you because this is definitely not his. This is Colossus dealing with Abdul Akbar here. So
Well, I'll tell you this much. Don't fret too much on thinking that just because you punch real good, you're not of use here. I'll tell you that much.
I'm at a loss for what he would do, other than continue to push through. He's always been
For sure.
He's always been a fighting spirit will take me through kind of thing, and the idea
Right.
of instinct is not useful here, is not his strong suit. So that's why I'm ceding to
He's
either of you.
struggling. Okay. Esme's down to just yell at him and shit.
Sure.
Right. Yeah. So it's no use hiding, making a thing now. I know you're an ugly little man who no one likes his class. I know your hair. I know your face. And Xander says you were an ugly little kid. Xander, what kind of ugly little kid did he look like? And she's gonna try and like dart in to try and just take a shot at him, just a light with her a light kick while she's yelling.
Sure. For a half second there, I thought you were actually going for the what was it? The one of the perilous stunts.
Oh, intimidate.
What is it?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I
More
thought you were
words?
going for that for a second there, but you're welcome to attack him as
I
well.
mean, I could also try that too, because
As you like. It's
Yeah.
it's your AP to spend.
Separate AP.
yeah.
You will have to hustle to get over to him though, so I believe that would use all your 3 of your AP up. Just to be, because if you want to close the gap to attack him, he's far enough away. You'll have to run at him to get
Hmm.
close.
Unless I do
I will
magic
say.
missile instead, which is ranged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do that. You could totally do that.
Spend my EX. Is there any
Okay.
difficulty casting right now?
Oh
I know I shouldn't
man.
ask that, but still, I felt like it was.
No. So here's the thing. Go ahead and give me the regular casting.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna use that roll for 2 different things.
Success.
It works. Your spell goes off without a hitch.
Alrighty.
All right. So,
He just takes damage.
Yeah.
yeah, no, totally. Roll your damage and then I'll narrate.
Yes. 18. Right? 10, 8. Yeah, 18.
Let me check something real quick.
She aced on the fucking D10, so.
Yeah, clearly. Just double checking a few things. Checking that, checking that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. He just takes 18 damage then. Jesus. Okay. All right, nope, that's okay. That's why I built him this way.
Not
So
ominous at all.
Luther. So actually, how do you? What does it look like when you magic missile this dude? Like, how does that go down? Describe that for me briefly.
Because normally it's Luther, but you got Jedi Luther over here.
I know, and she's also specifically thinking about apexes at the moment. So
Oh my god.
I don't know if that colors things, but it normally, yeah, it would have been Luther, but Luther doesn't have an IV stamp, but she's thinking really hard about like apexes, so I think it might be something, a joining of the two at this point. Because she was thinking about the dream that went well.
Mega Luther.
So you're shouting at this guy, and then this whole like this it's unreasonably mean, but completely reasonably mean litany of just awfulness that you spew his way, and you end it with this very dramatic anime like jabbing and pointing at him. I want to point out for the audience, it's shortly before this, as Esme started talking, that the theme song for the show for Firebrand Academy starts to kick up.
Oh yeah.
Possibly an instrumental version, playing slightly under the dialogue in the background.
But
and,
pops
like,
up whenever someone's not talking.
Is there some, like, the credits are starting for some reason in the middle of the
No,
episode?
not yet,
Didn't
not
roll
yet. No, actually, I will say we didn't have the full opening sequence. We just had the title card over the beeping of the bomb.
Oh, okay.
That's all we got, was the title card.
So now we got like in the lower right hand corner, we got Genion is just there, and
but you point. Yeah, also you'll notice too, like as the room like bent and warped, the animation budget, like it doesn't look like it's the same studio anymore.
Sandra, your hair looks
like
beautiful right now.
I have another bullet.
It looks like they went out.
It's gonna.
It looks like they went out and like subcontracted to Trigger, and like they're doing it for this sequence.
Oh my god.
So it looks weirdly fluid and amazing.
Oh man, the reflections in her eyes.
Yeah, like because it's a dream sequence, you guys are also like a little like not deformed, but like, you know, it's very stylized and exaggerated and everything.
Kill shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, it's some real like fucking Little Witch Academia fucking nonsense going on as you like reach out and you point, and Luther just like dashes past you, and remind me, so your apex, it's got like a whip, but that whip is also, it's like a whip sword, right?
It can form up into a blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a whip.
Yeah.
It was a whip sword, so it did have a sword form.
Yeah, it's
And
a
that's-
wall at the end, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what he's wielding as he like flies past you, and goes to swing at A Striker, who like his hand comes up and catches the blade, and Luther just kind of yanks his arm down, and the whole thing extends out into the whip form and wraps around Mr. Nightmare's arm, and Luther swivels his whole body and turns away, and the whip like contracts around that chunk of the arm and like rips it free, and it like everything from like this part of the elbow down, and it just explodes into shadow, like whoosh, like a smoky shadowy light thing. And then as he turns back and looks at the three of you, he just gives like a thumbs up,
Oh my
and then
god.
and then Mega Man winks away, out, out of back away from having like whoop, just out of there.
Oh wow, Luther's real cool.
At least do the
guy
teleport,
took
and
a
not the Cheerios.
He took a shitload of damage from that.
I did Fruit
Uh.
intimidation test, right?
Please, yes.
It's a 50-50. Success.
Okay, and he resists that with some as I recall. Where the hell is my notes? War of Words. Here we go.
I caught that. Sing talking big
Alright,
bang
did they not-
Sonic while saying other things.
Oh wait, do I not get a resistance on this? On War of Worlds?
No,
Oh, I don't. Oh shit!
just happens.
It just happens. Okay, cool. So he loses a damage threshold and a peril threshold. Okay.
I don't know for how
Shit.
long, right? I don't remember.
It says until end of combat. Jesus, that's good.
Okay.
Well, you can also.
Until
The
end of
thing is,
combat.
if somebody gets off inspiring,
Then it negates
it
itself.
cancels it out.
Yeah.
That's true.
It
That's true.
is.
If he's a self-starter, he'll be fine.
He roars as his arm is torn from him, and the laughing, awful Cheshire grin inverts. Excuse me. Trying not to burp here. Into this terrifying. He belches and it's horrible. Into this like just this twisted, snarled like. As like again from like the stub of where his arm was kind of cut down, it's like just below the elbow. It's like leaking. What again? It's like fire. It's like a fire hose of shadow and like inky blackness. This like spilling out into the air as he just like he doesn't like reach over to grab it, but he does just kind of reel back a bit and like brings his gaze back down to the three of you, and he's gonna do a thing. One moment, please, while I double check something
I
here.
have to show you guys Wonder Egg Priority later tonight.
What?
I have to show you guys the anime Wonder Egg Priority later tonight.
Wonder Egg Priority.
Correct.
They're getting out there with the names now.
It's it's at a certain point you're kind of just out of English to mash together. So you gotta just load it all into a blender and hope for the best.
Yeah.
All right. He is
Getting real like full release Alucard vibes right now too.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm both turned on and scared.
he jabs a finger at Xandra, actually, and it's like, I don't know what you found, and it doesn't matter where I was. What matters is what I am. And he like he with the finger he pointed at you, he then plunges it into his own chest and rips out, or no, not his chest, actually, even better. He sticks it into the open wound that's like leaking out of his shadow arm and like pulls out this enormous glob of shadow. Please spend a misfortune point of mine.
Oh.
Yep. I'm going to spend a misfortune point. Oh, perfect. Need to do that without making my fucking desk shake, because I don't know if that came through the mic. And smashes it into the ground in front of the three of you, and the room like instantly goes black for a moment. Like it hits the ground and the whole world just is enveloped in like this inky blackness in an instant. And then almost as quickly as it filled the room, it sort of peels off of the walls of the place, goes whoomp, and he's not as huge. He's like 7 or 8 feet tall now. He's not quite as gigantic, but there's 4 of him.
Okay.
There's 4 of him in a semicircle in front of you. As this one-armed, because it's still like spraying and kind of leaking out there, like floppy arm.
There's one with the leaky floppy arm, and then 4 other pristine copies, or all 4 of
there are 4 Mr. Nightmares that all look identical.
All with leaky floppy arms.
All with leaky floppy arms, and the left arm now is gnarled and a bit bigger. Actually, it's gained a little bit of girth. As he kind of like slams it into the ground and flings himself forward. He's gonna attack somebody. Is what he's gonna do. Let me take one moment to take a look at his whole AP situation.
I was the only person to say that I ran forward. So I am technically at the front of the triangle right now.
Kind of. The ground was moving underneath you, which was super fucking weird. But yeah, you're gonna catch some hands.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Okay. So he's just
My-
gonna attack you with a nice
My
heavy
Aegis
attack.
is still up.
What's that really?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
that really?
He's gonna just do a heavy attack at Senor Artyom. So
Okay.
Heavy, but that means you have a +10.
Yes, to parry.
Shit. Where's your combat? There it is. There's your combat stuff. How much misfortune have I got?
7?
Oh Jesus, yeah, burn one of those. I need to reroll this nonsense.
Oh, okay.
You need a hit, buddy. Buddy, you need a hit.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
No, it's not required.
It's not.
A 97's not gonna cut it. All right, well, yeah, he you don't have to parry anything because like he slammed. He sort of lunges, like the middle of him is like pulled towards you, RTM, and the left arm cartwheels down and plants into the tiled floor, and he uses that as leverage to kind of flip his entire body up and over, like he's using himself almost like a cartwheel, to throw his body at you. But you kind of see it coming, and you're like, oh, don't react on instinct, just do something. And you think like, well, I should probably block if something's flying at me. Okay. And you put both arms up above you, and he slams into your Dragon Tech prosthetics. And that thought crosses your mind. It's like, oh yeah, Dragon Tech. And like they slam into your arms, and there's like this roar of a dragon somewhere that you hear, and your arms feel like they're burning as he contacts them, and there's like a splash of energy and fire as he impacts, and you just push him away. And like as he flies backwards, the other 3 kind of like shift around him, so he sort of falls into that crowd of them, and it's like a shell game as the 4 of them kind of shuffle around each other in and outwards, trying to figure out who's who. You kind of lose track. What else can he do with his AP that's remaining? One moment, as I get lost in my own narrative. Oh, I was really hoping you would actually do something there, buddy. But you didn't. So, oh, here we go. Perilous stunts are fun. Let's do a perilous stunt. That's fun.
It's the one person who's looking at the edge of the fucking arcade cabinet, the move list, like, oh shit, I can do that.
Yeah, well, you know. Let's see. All right, let me see how this roll goes. What do you have to roll with for this? Because okay, here we go. Beautiful.
Jokes for 2 people.
You know, shit, I just lost it. Okay, here we go. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, all right. You got a 50-50 chance on this, buddy. Maybe you can make it happen. 1 second while I roll for him. Oh wait, no, that's not a 51. That's a 15. Ha ha.
Damn it.
Beautiful. As they're kind of shuffling and spinning and twirling around like that, I need, because I think this is resisted. Where is it? There it is. I need Xandra to make an awareness test.
Oh.
Okay.
Decent awareness, right?
My awareness is better than my scrutinize. I think her
My scrutinize is better than my
yeah.
awareness.
Nope.
Oh, we're tied actually. Still got 7.
Do it. Yeah.
Okay. If you guys are
Reroll
going
it.
for
Reroll it.
What if there's a little bit of lore that we missed because you didn't see it?
Nope.
Damn it.
That's worse.
Okay.
It's
Well,
okay.
good news. You're not about to see anything, because
Dirty tricks, isn't it?
so he is using a dirty trick here. He rolled and passed his guile test, and as these guys are like shuffling around, your attention was momentarily on the fact that one of them tried to belly flop on top of Artyom, and then your confusion and amazement as Artyom fucking released the dragon within to knock this thing away. You don't catch that of the 4 kind of shuffling and doing their game. One of them turned towards you and broke off, and has grabbed rigged its claws down into the tile floor, and sort of like grabbed a bunch of my brain is blanking on what it's called, like the whatever's underneath the tile,
Grout?
the flooring, basic grout. Grabs a bunch of fucking tile and grout and just flings it into your eyes, catching you unawares, blinding you. You are now blinded.
Good news, though.
Doesn't say I can't attack.
But it also says until your next turn, and you haven't gone yet.
No.
So technically,
As I'm looking through the conditions here to see what does blinded even do.
it makes it
Does
so
it
that
do
you
anything?
cannot counterspell, dodge, or parry.
until my next
Okay.
turn.
But next turn literally comes right up now.
How would that work?
You want to say it for
I'm
this?
okay with making it until the next round instead of the next turn.
Yeah,
So the next
I'm
time
gonna
my
go
turn
with
comes
that.
around?
There's, because it's like, oh, well then, because then what's the? Well, I guess you're supposed to do it to somebody after they've taken their turn. Is sort of the idea behind it then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Also, it helps
We can
when you
split
have
it.
multiple people in your party and you do it and they all pile
That's
on
a
that
setup.
person. Yeah,
You-
it's a setup thing.
You can also do it at the beginning of
well.
your turn and then attack.
Oh, yeah.
So you can literally
okay.
blind them and then attack, and then they, in that turn, they
Well,
can't
then-
do anything.
Well, then we'll chalk this up to the fact that Mr. Nightmare is not enrolled at Firebrand Academy, and not sweat it. We'll go with it as rules as written. You guys are up. You have 2 activations. Xandra and Artyom, you have not yet gone.
Xandra, because it's fucking anime with the eyes still closed, has one hand up and goes, no, nope, and then just flings needles everywhere in front of her. I'm gonna use my unique attack, shrapnel cone of needles towards where he
Cool.
last was, that I remember at least.
Totally. So real quick, I would like you to give me a focus check before you make the stack.
Okay.
Standard difficulty.
Standard? I fail.
Oh, really?
Wait a second. What'd you roll?
What'd you roll?
65. Focus is a 60. Unless it's a spell, it's not a spell.
Right, I was just thinking it's a petty spell.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
shit.
brain-
No.
That was the media. I was like, no, you got a 70 in that shit.
Mm-mm.
No,
Fuck.
focus is a little weird here because you're in a dream space.
All right, we gotta be smart about. We can't hit them all.
Okay.
Okay. Then I won't hit them all.
No, that's actually, you know what? That's more important because then we can possibly figure out which one is the real one. I'll eat missing if it means that you hit. So I would say
Yeah.
for this one, yeah.
Science.
Okay.
Roll it.
That's a 6. That's better.
I feel vindicated.
That will totally, fling into them. Let's see here. This is your unique attack, so he gets a dodge on this,
Yep.
Yes.
as I recall.
But it is fast, so he gets a -10.
Okay.
The old shrapnel
Just double
shotgun.
checking some real quick stuff about this. Huh. Okay. Do.
Sound.
Real
specific
quick.
maximum.
What is your
Very-
scrutinize?
My scrutinize is a 50.
Okay. I just need to make a note of that for future.
Hmm.
What about you other two? What are your scrutinizes?
40.
40.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Just need those numbers in front of me for no particular reason. All right, so he's gonna make some dodges now. He's gonna try to do a little dodgy dodge. Actually, what we're gonna do is roll a die. Ooh, I know. I need a D4 is what I need. Yeah. I need more dice, you guys. 1 second, you guys. I should have got my dice ready ahead of time, but I didn't.
What do you
Now
need
I'm
more
paying the
dice?
price
This
for
isn't that kind of system.
Yep, and yet here we go. I need more dice.
It
All
is
right,
now.
You're not
Drops
casting-
an
It's
entire.
anime.
You're not casting Fireball. What the hell?
All
I
right.
like to cast.
So
I like to cast Fireball at level 9.
I swapped around my dice tray
Alright.
to show the red board. So
Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
do.
that one's gonna dodge.
Ah, yes, that's the pointy end. Pointed towards the enemy.
Yeah, red represents aggression, and in the dream state, colors have more meaning. So, blue's more
Is it a-
calming.
That one's
People.
barely gonna
I don't think
dodge.
it's on the screen.
Hmm?
I don't think that comes up on camera.
Like the mic.
That one gets hit.
no, it's not the mic. It's this
Oh.
isn't on camera.
Stabby.
That one makes it. All right. So, you load up your daggers and everything, or daggers, Jesus. Your needles. I keep doing that. I'm very sorry. You load up your needles and like as you sort of prep them and go to throw, suddenly behind you there's like a ring, not even like a ring, like a field of these needles like levitating and floating behind you, and they're huge. And you throw yours, and then like one by one in rapid succession they go whoosh,
Which is funny because I
out
can't
into
see
that
it because
cone.
I'm blind.
Yeah, well, it's real fucking cool looking to the audience as these needles just go like fly. And like when we cut over to where the Mr. Nightmares are, you see as the needles come flying at them, they start to sort of bend and twist themselves into impossible shapes. Like one of them goes like into like it flattens itself into like a U, like its middle goes down, but like the sides go up to like replace that mass. Another one twists itself into this like weird S shape. A third one just opens up holes in its body to let the needles pass through. But the fourth one, the one that had thrown like the crap into your eyes, gets caught completely unawares, and it's just like utterly shredded. Like as these needles, like a couple of needles hit it, and then it's you didn't throw this many, but somehow like hundreds of needles are flying through this thing at light speed as it gets completely fucking just shredded down to like a shriveling little like flicker of darkness, and then it's just gone.
Did I
But
get
3 remain.
One down.
Shit.
No, this is good.
Fuck.
The cutest little peck.
That's the fuck I hear when I see the little falcon drawing. It's a picture Cassandra drew a while ago. It just
I made it my profile picture, and it's this tiny little hawk that's just going heck.
I tried to draw a bird and I got really frustrated in the middle of drawing the bird, so then I made his face a little weird and just drew really wonky eyes and just wrote feck.
So I made it my profile picture. It wasn't drawn for
I
me.
approve. This is big cartoon energy, and I'm really fucking into it.
okay. It is Artyom's turn.
It is RTO's
Unless you
turn.
have AP, you're still gonna spend, or you're gonna hold on to it for.
Yeah, if there's anything
I
else
can't dodge,
you've got
parry,
to do.
or counterspell, so why am I holding on to my AP?
He's also not going. You can activate first next round. That'll refresh the blind, and then you'll be okay for the next.
So if you have anything else you
Totally.
want to
So
do,
yeah, fucking
yeah.
unload now.
I'm not in.
Which honestly, in fact, for the
Range.
sake of keeping things smooth, I'll just say by the end, like at any point during your turn, you've basically cleared the shit out of your eyes. I'm taking that on me as having not fully read the rules on this, and still system shocking. So
You could war words. Just give it a try. See if we can get leadership.
Leadership's a 30.
Leadership. It's worth a shot.
Sure.
You rolled a 20 there.
Very
earlier,
Listen, the only
so-
time I rolled well in leadership was against Dougie. Why do you think he likes me?
I wasn't gonna ask about who was on top. I just you contributed that information yourself. I didn't need to know, but thanks.
What if Artyom wants to get paid?
what if Artyom wants to get paid?
How do I even talk inspiring? Hold on. Now I'm like
I
blanking entirely.
I did ask about what kind of
what-
little child he was.
I have pictures I'll show you later. He's a fat kid. He had acne. I don't. Just get in there and fuck him up. Everything hurts.
That's inspiring. Get in there and fuck them up because everything hurts. Is a way of life for me.
Buy his pizza later.
Buy you whatever you fucking want if you long as you take him down. Xandra.
You say buy us pizza later, and then somewhere in the distance you hear pizza Sinclair, pizza Sinclair.
No.
Damn.
That was a long
man.
shot.
It was it's worth it. It was
Pizza
worth the shot.
Sinclair, pizza Sinclair.
That's how we're gonna use my ghost now. I'm just gonna have them follow you around slowly, just chanting your backup group, Pizza Sinclair.
No.
It sounds very much like you're in the arena during that night. Actually, it's weird. That's what like the sound of this place has kind of become.
Okay. You said we need to think. I am thinking I'm going to use what you helped teach me. Fencing! And he's gonna run over, grab the folding chair, and try to brain.
Fabulous.
This guy-
Give me
I accidentally stab you once.
give me a focus at a +10.
That'll do it.
Okay. Yeah. Make your movement. Make your attack roll. Make it happen.
Okay. Melee combat.
I have to remember I cannot use bind wounds on myself anymore today.
Okay.
I can for you guys.
Yeah.
But I had to use it on myself because I got fucked in that last fight.
This will be because I'm using a chair, it's gonna be a heavy attack. It's got reach on it. That will miss. Damn it.
Hit him with the goddamn chair, I vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we're in this like midnight hour persona fight, so
Yeah.
might as well hit somebody with a chair.
And you could technically.
You can find
Gets
his
a
weakness.
stand of Kanji Tatsumi behind him, and then behind Kanji is Take Mikazuchi, just like. So it's just the.
It's time for an all-out attack, y'all.
Yeah!
And I
Thanks.
did because I rolled a 23.
Yeah.
There it is. All right. So this
Could you
is.
now use fortune to explode?
As long as he doesn't parry.
If he doesn't parry, but I can use since I did.
But he had to dodge. So at least that's 2 AP.
Yeah, that's another AP he has to spend to dodge.
That's right. I actually need to spend a what do you call it? Misfortune, please. I need to burn
Oh.
one of my misfortune in order to get the AP in order to do this. So please do that
Okay.
for me.
I don't have to spend. Well, I could spend fortune to explode, but I'm gonna.
All right.
If it's
So I have
if
I have
it
a
hits,
+10 to parry this, so my odds are actually pretty good.
I've got. That's a punishing one. So.
And yet he rolled an 84. Jesus. All right, my dude. All right. Yeah, go ahead and make some damage happen.
Okay,
With a chair.
because
And then
this is
we'll-
a
and then
heavy
we'll narrate.
attack, I'm gonna spend an extra AP
Mm-hmm.
because I still have one left
Mm-hmm.
to add an extra D6 of damage. Do we want to explode one?
Good.
I've got a 4 and a 2.
You gotta hit
I could
him.
explode the 2.
So that's 14 to Bajes.
No.
Oh, that's without your bonus.
As it is right now,
It's
yes.
14.
It's 14.
But
I could explode the 6,
Yeah.
instantly jump it to 18, and then roll another D6 for damage.
Yeah. If you got a hit in, I think you should make those hits count.
Okay. And we just got 2 from chat, so
You
Jesus.
hit him with the chair.
Also, you recalled
Okay.
a beautiful memory.
I'm gonna burst
So-
that up to 6. Learned many good things that day.
Yeah, actually.
All right, so that is.
I mean, really, then it should be your teachers there.
21.
Swinging a chair with you. 21?
21.
21. Okay. You deciding to show them the power of Russian fencing, dash, and this time when you plant your foot, like it finds purchase in the ground, and you launch yourself like off like a cannon towards the what the fuck is it called? Folding chair. which has gotten bigger as the room has kind of twisted and distorted. Like it's still like eminently grabbable, but it's like almost as big as you are at this point, as you kind of just grab the damn thing and wield it up, with one hand up into the air and point it towards the nearest Mr. Nightmare, taking a dramatic fencing pose as you do, and then promptly flipping it around, grabbing it by both legs, and just leaping into the air. And like as you leap, like the ground has like a little bit of a whoosh shockwave to it. There's a streak behind you of like that sort of like anime jumping smoke. And as the Mr. Nightmare that you've spotted like swivels around to like roar at you, and its jaw like smiles and then opens and then distends down to where his like stomach would be, and you go inside of this like inky, like laughing and screaming as you go. You swing the chair down as you get inside, and the back of Mr. Nightmare like bulges like it's fucking Vegeta getting fucking punched in the gut. Just roar. And
Keep punching me in the dick.
as the mouth kind of closes, there's this instant like look on its face as you burst out the other side with the chair, and the whole form of that Mr. Nightmare just whooshes as like a cackling RTM blasts out the other side. It explodes.
Turn to the next one. Ishidam! Just prepare for the next round.
2 down.
Oh, okay.
I'll make a note.
Top of the round.
Top
One
of the
our
round.
turns.
You should go. Get
Yeah.
your AP back.
Get your AP back.
You living dangerously right now.
I
Yeah.
am living dangerously.
I got my defensive AP to go too, so
I'm gonna stay right where I am, and I'm going to let loose another volley of needles. This time my eyes finally blinking open as I witness Artyom tear one to shreds, and I'm like, you mean I only got one, as I just fling out more needles?
So you're doing the your AoE attack again?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will say, because he is amidst them, if you do this, you risk, you will potentially hit Artyom. Is the only thing I want to put on the table. You're welcome to still do it, but he is in the middle of this crowd of them.
I'll fix him later.
do it.
Okay.
Do it. Do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
I accept this.
Duck! Is it focus test, you said?
Oh no. Actually, yeah. Real quick, I completely forgot. Give me a focus test at a +20.
Yeah, I got it. I rolled a 62.
Beautiful.
Okay.
It's getting easier. It's feeling more natural in this unnatural place. You're starting to realize how the rules work here.
Because it's anime. No, I was gonna say it goes through as fucking. Now that Xandra can actually see them and pay attention, they look more like raven feathers, like Hunin.
Ooh.
Okay.
You watched the anime with us.
Okay.
I did watch the anime with you guys.
You watched a lot of. Don't think about your dad though. Not here. Don't do it.
Don't think about your dad.
Artyom.
Hi, I'm here. Your disappointment.
That is... Oh no! Did you?
What? I didn't-
Nothing. I succeed, so they both
Okay.
have to
I didn't-
dodge.
Don't think about your dad in the spa
I
player.
had negative 10.
Oh no.
Okay, 1 second.
If they
No, you
have
gotta
the
stay
AP to
both
do
of
so.
them.
I didn't say shit. Just want to point that out.
Don't look at me like that. I love you.
Blame
All right, so these
Blame
guys
them.
got to dodge again. So
those two.
that one makes its dodge.
These are at the negative 10.
Oh yeah, no, the first one
Got
rolled like a
AP.
40 something. He made it. The second one, not so much. Go ahead and burn a like. How much friggin' am I? Misfortune
5?
am I sitting on? Fantastic. Burn another. He's gonna re-roll that because he rolled very poorly on that dodge. Is that 10 or a 70? There we go. Okay.
No, you're wrong. I'm always
Very important difference die. Okay. This time, Xandra has the opportunity to see as one of them like uh, reaches out and grabs the other and kind of like pulls it by its head so that, like whoop up and out of the way, and then like they plants the other one. The first one gets planted down on the ground, and then it reaches over and lifts up the second one as they kind of do this weird like whoop, whoop, end over end thing to slide out of the way of your needles, deftly
Oompa
dodging
Dead
Loopers?
them
leaves shit right now, okay?
as is there like a cool like crow sound as these feathers like fly outward?
I don't know, but they're probably streaked with this weird purpley pink color that doesn't suit Xandra at all, but she's always liked
Not in the
Ragna,
slightest.
so...
But like in the in fact, like they even try, like the feathers shoot past them, and then some of them arc back around like for a second pass when but they still, again, they do their end over end fucking Oompa Loompa nonsense trying to get out of the way. With the raven feathers like kind of almost coming back to Xandra and like sticking into the ground around her in like a semicircle behind her, just like into the ground, missing her completely, and like just as they pass, her coat billows like, and again because it's like trigger animating this, like while her coat is billowing, it's way too big. Like it's not supposed to be that big, but then when it settles, it's normal sized again.
Xandra just
they
looks at the
dodge.
two that are standing there still. It's just like, fuck. Turn goes,
Oh shit! I just realized they dodged that too. You need to burn one more
Misfortune?
misfortune for me, because I forgot that they were out of AP. You need to burn another one of those for me.
Yes.
you.
Yes. Like burning through legendary
burning through
resistances.
legendary resistances.
100%. That is absolutely what's going on here. Do you have any other expenditures AP you wish to do? You've still got 2 left, I believe. Xandra, I should say. I should specify. I'm looking at you like you can see me. Hi, Xandra. You're who I'm talking to. Hi, you're up here.
I'm sorry, what did you say? You
You have AP to
You have
spend
AP to
still.
spend.
I do.
You have 2 AP left
I
if you want to do anything.
I very much would like to keep it for dodging
Yeah, 1 AP to
Or-
dodge.
or parrying.
Yeah.
Seems like a good idea.
Understandable.
Since
Thank-
I am not by Archel.
Bank for defense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then in that case, it's nightmare time. Nightmare time, nightmare time. It is nightmare time. Hey. So. Do-do-do-do-do. Okay.
Not Totoro. Hawks.
As
The
it's
pinion feather.
as it's
Hawks works too.
as it Oompa the Doompas around a little bit.
Thank you for catching my reference.
Just fucking dead leaves instead of fucking.
Listen, you just don't want to go full paprika.
Mm-mm. No. Well, I think we actually are kind of there.
Yeah.
We're
Never
sort of
watched
there.
You're kind. This is pretty paprika,
Love it.
honestly.
It's a
This
one.
is
it's
very
one
paprika,
movie.
actually.
It's like 45 minutes.
Shoutouts to Satoshi Kon, pour one out for a great one. Okay, so he's as like the warp, warp kind of goes around, like one of them finishes warping, like boom, right down next to Esme.
Did they move past me?
Oh, I didn't think about that. Right, because their engagement with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, it did.
Then I will opportunity for free.
Go for it. Whoop. Hang on. Oh god. I dropped a thing. I thing. First you need to give me a focus at a plus 30.
That'll miss.
We need to do the focus first.
Focus.
That
At a
still.
plus
Oh,
30.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I rolled a 91.
Wowzadoodle.
Oh, okay.
Holy cannoli badoli.
No, it's all right. It was an opportunity attack, so.
Okay. Yeah, you in fact, like as they're moving away, like you go to kind of swing the chair to the side again. Like, and as you do, like there's a shockwave along the ground, like ripping up the tile from the wind of the thing passing. But they manage to galoof away from that situation just in the nick of time, and plunk themselves down
Make
next
them go
to
snicker
Esme.
snack real fucking soon.
And
They're gonna go galumping.
they you notice that one of them like spins around so it's facing the wrong direction, and so like they have an arm on both sides. One of them is just facing the wrong way, and the one on the, let's say it's missing its right arm, so the one on the left kind of bends its head up to sort of where its head should be, as if this were one creature, and it just kind of does this weird like spinning grasping attack at Esme, and it is going to go for, like, as it's just kind of spinning and spinning, it's going to go for a fast attack. That's what it's going to do here.
Likelihood.
Yeah, could you give me that reroll? Give me that.
Wow.
93 is not going to cut it. 93 is just not going to cut it. I need a reroll.
Need new dice.
Yeah, the spiritual energy of chat is like really keeping us alive right now.
That's pretty much it.
Anime season finale. We spent all that money on animation. We need to make sure that...
Okay, so I rolled a 92. So
It's
that's
better.
not going to do it either. It is better. So as it kind of does this like spinning attack, you notice that like it's not just like one and then another arm that's coming at you, Esme. It's like way too many arms are kind of slamming into the ground here, and you're just sort of scrambling and tumbling in that very wonderfully awkwardly Esme way of like it hits the ground and then you're like knocked up into the air like in this very like ah! But then like you land and scramble across the floor for a second as another one slams down and you're like dodging between these awful fingers. And as one is
Got the Serena.
Sorry, you got a grin on your face. I want to hear it.
Moment.
Nah, just think more like a raccoon when they're on our like balcony and I was chasing them with pipes.
That's a very specific reference that I don't think anybody else gets.
That was just for you.
Thank you.
But I can appreciate what that must look like. And it's a lot of what it looks like right now, except that one kind of comes down in front of you and you sort of do like the Mario, like skidding stop to not, keep smashing into it. And the other hand is starting to come down. And then it's just, oh God, I lost his name. Not Luther, but Gregory is there. And it's Gregory like you remember him. His shirt doesn't have a bullet hole in it. He's just this kid and he's there and he's like, woomph. And he jumps up in the air and kind of like stops it, and you kind of like look up and you see him, and he's like holding it up, stopping it from crushing you, and just kind of gives you this like ah. And as you scramble away, he kind of Mega Man's out again, like whip away, and the hand like throngs into the ground, and there's like this awful like screeching noise.
Rush
And
shows up
God damn
next. I'm out. Okay.
Is
there a
let's see
dog
here.
that is a ghost?
Oh no! Father, no.
All right, fuck it. He's gonna go for perilous stunt. Then he is going to try. Okay. Let's see. I gotta make an athletics test because he's gonna go for stunning blow. I think.
Oh.
Let's see how athletic this guy is. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I gave him this. I gave him things.
A
I did
suggestion
stuff.
I can give
I built a monster.
from a system standpoint, strategically speaking, start looking to perilous stunts before you make your attack in the turn.
You get more out of them then, because sequentially, if the perilous stunt goes off, then when you hit,
The enemy's usually at a disadvantage if you do the perilous stunt in front of the attack.
That makes a lot of sense.
fuck us up.
Actually, looking at them, that makes a lot of
In
sense.
conclusion, fuck us up.
In conclusion, fuck us. Oh.
My dude, that is not gonna get the mustard cut. Okay, well, you know what? He's just gonna hang on to because what am I at, like 4 at this point?
2.
Mid 2? Okay, he's not gonna reroll that then. Yeah, it's just this. After that hand hits the ground, like the two of them split, kind of like not split, but like separate a little bit from each other. And just start like slamming on the ground next to Esme, but to absolutely no avail. And again, it's just another like, ah! My house! Come, as the two fists slam on the ground. Like he's throwing a temper tantrum, really. Because that's about as effective as his die rolls have been. It is y'all's activation. Esme and RTM, you are up. This guy
I'm gonna go
sucks.
so I can get next to you.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. RTM is going to activate. Gonna pop the chair open,
Mm-hmm.
put it down in front of him, and kick it so it slides about halfway between him and Mr. Nightmare.
Okay. Check something
He
real
is
quick.
then going to hustle, use the chair as a springboard. I'm going to use my unique attack.
Okay.
That's
Go for it.
That's the plan.
Sure.
Are we still making the focus?
You didn't make your last one, so yeah, give me a focus of plus 30.
Okay. That's still an 80 now, so... No.
90.
Yeah. No. All right.
Oh, okay, that's right.
80. You're at the 90.
1 plus 2 plus 2 plus
Yes.
1.
That'll be good at a 52. That'll happen.
That'll do. All right. Yeah. You considering what you're about to do with this chair, you've absolutely picked up on the logic of this place.
Okay. So, here's the thing. See if this works. So unique attack. It's gonna miss.
Fortune?
Yeah.
Fortune? It's your unique. Shit has cost.
Come on. That'll do it.
Yay!
Alright, so that hits.
Doing the thing. I gotta dodge.
Oh no.
All right, wait. This is a parry, right?
Yes, this is a parry.
This is a parry.
It is fast, so he's at a
roller,
negative
collect
10.
dice now. At a negative 10. Go. Don't be afraid to
Chat
make a
did
really
vote that you
bad
had
joke.
the best dice ditties.
Don't worry about it. I rolled a 29.
Damn.
Kick the chair out, slide. It's like step,
Pretty
step,
gone.
grab it
Mhm.
behind you, and oh, you had your finger up. Sorry.
No, I was like, but it's an AP gun. So
Yes,
I
yes.
made-
Which thank you.
I was like, even if it failed, constantly you still got something.
Silver linings.
That burned through one of his AP, and like as you're like kind of coming in with the chair, you're bringing it down towards his head, and without really the form turning around because it's not facing you, the arm that was like pounding on the ground swivels around, so it's essentially mounted in the middle of his back, and it just swats you and the chair away.
Oh, I wasn't
and,
using the
like-
chair. He used the chair like a springboard. Like
He swats you away then, as like the rest of his body then kind of twists around to follow like where the arm was, and you are not harmed. You're just sort of like knocked away down to the floor, and catch yourself. And as you hit the ground, you hear a crowd of like people at like an Olympic game or a gymnast demonstration, like someone in Russian is saying that the first score is 10. U.S. judge gives it a 10, but like in Russian, and I don't speak Russian, so someone somewhere is saying that as you like land, like.
But he does stay close enough to land near Esme.
Yeah.
Okay.
Screw it. We'll say, yeah, like you've kind of like where you get swatted to. We'll say it's
Actually,
next to
yeah,
Esme.
you guys hadn't moved, so
Yeah.
you should be near each other. So I should be back with the cluster again.
Kind of, yeah. You guys are now an intermingled cluster at
in
this
order to
point.
get all of them without hitting you because you had
Mm.
started rushing forward. So I'm off to the side.
But if he tries to
that
go
makes
for
sense.
you, now he has to try and leave
Opportunity attacks between
Yes.
from two people.
from two people. Yeah.
Yes, totally.
Cool.
He is engaged with, Esme and Artyom. He is not currently engaged. They. It's weird.
Yeah.
There's two of him are engaged with those two, but you, Xandra, are still outside of the cluster. The world is kind of bent and warped and twisted at this point to where it's almost like it's not really even a room anymore. It's this awful like orange and yellow swirl at the edges at this point, and this giant expanse of that awful tile.
Hmm.
But yeah, I believe that was only you still have 1 AP left, I think, because you
Nope.
moved and attacked.
Moved and unique attack.
Mm.
That was my command.
Oh,
normal.
that's
two
2
AP.
AP. That's right. That's 2 AP. So yeah, you're out.
still
All
have
right,
my
then Esme,
lightning
you are up.
I still have my lightning reflex defensive.
No,
so
yeah,
I'm still
it
safe.
makes sense for you,
Save
but
it for Xander if it comes down to it.
No, but
I'm out of the engagement.
Still not-
no,
yeah.
but opportunity attacks are
Free.
Okay.
yes.
So he would be.
So Esme,
twice,
you
should he
are
decide to
up
leave.
if you wish to do a thing.
Direction.
Okay. As she was dodging and everything, she was like, you kept on telling me to focus the focus that I needed to focus. Why would you teach me what I needed to put you down? And her leg swings up above her head and she goes to kick with a heavy.
Oh damn. Okay.
Hell yeah! All right.
That's
Let me do a
Real
thing.
jury energy right now.
Oh, I'm into it.
Just do the hand on the face. The eye lights up.
It's the glasses though.
That tendon engine going.
How is she always only on one foot?
Listen, I proved that you could do it, and I eat like combos and sit on the computer chair all day.
I know.
I got this. I also got this with a 3, so hold up.
Oh, okay.
Well,
You rolled a 3.
yeah.
Jesus, that'll hit.
So-
Yeah, roll me some. Oh right, yeah.
Are they gonna dodge?
Shit, is he
Do
gonna?
they have AP?
Do they have AP to dodge?
He doesn't. No, they don't have any AP. I'm just debating if I want to burn one of my 2. Nah, I'm not worried about getting a hit from Esme. Bring it.
Haven't
Use-
you said this before?
Use the extra AP
Yeah.
to do the extra damage, please.
I am.
Because that was a heavy attack, so
Yeah.
2d6 right now.
2d6.
Do as thou wilt.
Oh, that explodes. So it's 5, 6. Plus 3. Plus
14 plus your combat bonus?
plus 8.
22.
Do you
You
want me
hit
to
harder than me.
I could explode one.
22.
And we haven't used fortune to explode one yet.
Okay, so
No, I think.
I think
as
we'll
it-
hold on to it. I think 22 is worth it.
Yeah.
as you as that one that like turns and swivels away to face Artyom, you look up at it and it's this awful black expanse. It's like, and you start to shout and it kind of swivels back to look at you, and again its face kind of like turns back into that twisted grin of just like, what, you are so very small here. And you bring your leg up and like just sweep down to kick at this guy, and it's as your leg travels, like there's a fiery flaming arc that like starts at like this guy's like well above this dude's head and travels downward like whoom, following the direction of your foot, like a bolt of fire out of the sky, like a semicircle, like a fucking croissant of death. Just
I love bread!
poof, down to the floor,
Croissant of death.
burning with the yellow orange fire. And there's like a whoosh noise as it hits the ground, and like when as it passes through him, it like he doesn't even have time to go from smile to frown. Like he just splits in two, the interior edges of him catching a light as they go, and like the two halves kind of like flippy floppy like this, and erupt into flame. And when as the fire, as you're like what's it called, the heel of your foot hits the ground and the fire hits the ground at the exact same instant, the streaking bolt of flame slams into the ground like water and kind of washes out to the left and right. And as it does, you recognize that there's still a form in the middle of all of that fire, and you look, and there's this little girl there, wreathed in flame, like not on fire, not like Johnny Storm, but like she's got like an outline, like some like she's like Gokuing, but it's fire essentially. And she's just there, and she's just in this little purple dress, and she's got this. She turns to you, Esme, and she's got this big grin, and there's like a tooth or two missing because she's a little kid. She's just like, and she shoots you this giant thumbs up, and Brooke just kind of whoops away. When you return the thumbs up back to her, and she, and yeah, the flames sort of dissipate into black, smoky energy, as 3 down, 1 to go.
Okay, top of the round.
top of the round. Well, unless Esme's doing anything else with her remaining AP.
I don't think there's really.
You still have one save for defense, possibly.
Ooh, I only attacked.
2.
You
That was a heavy
attacked and you
attack.
spent one to punish.
Yeah. You
Oh,
added
that's
an
right.
extra
Yeah, yeah.
D6.
Fair. Yeah, I'll
That's
hold it.
right. That's right. My
Oh,
bad.
Good
Okay.
thinking. Thanks. Thanks, team.
Go team. Go team venture.
You want to? Do the yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Top of the round. Somebody go for God's sake.
All right, who do
It's
you want
y'all's
to take the
activation before it's
activation?
my activation.
We're right on top of him. I might be able to give him a knockdown. Ooh, I can keep him in place, possibly.
I plan on magic missiling. So whenever you guys are good.
Big black Sonic, that's the heartbeat.
Okay. If I activate, I can keep him in place. Okay. Artyom will activate.
Okey-doke. Bring it on, Artyom.
He's going to looking around. Where's the fridge? Is it still in range? Is it still visible?
You would need to hustle to get to the fridge, but
Nah.
yeah, it's sort of it's twisted a bit and it's getting fuzzy and weird. You notice that every time you smoke one of these dudes, the world feels like it's less cohesive. But
less
as you look
cohesive-
at it and focus on it, it's still there, and you know you could still affect it.
But less
essentially.
cohesive is good.
Okay.
Because I'm going to summon the powers of Armika from Alpha 3.
Okay.
And I want the corner of a ring to slide in behind me.
Absolutely.
So I can jump up on a ring post. Pose
Totally.
once, and then jump and double foot stomp and use cold steps.
Go for it.
So that's
Give me that.
2
give me that
EX I gotta
casting
spend right now for this.
Yep. Give me that cast and roll.
Alright. This is still focus plus 10. That's a 60. That'll go off. Alright. It activated. So I think he
Do I
gets
get
to
a resistance
resist.
on that?
I need the
Do I get to resist?
Knife in the Dark is the core spell that it's
Knife in the
based on.
Dark is it the spell? I can also look it up right here.
So whatever the resistance is.
Don't be afraid to look up all the goddamn rules. Where did I put my spell list? It's here. Knife in the. Please work. Please, I made you to work.
Semester, you mean?
It's been
There we go. Knife in the
Smart
dark.
from overhead.
Must resist with a Okay, here we go. The person you touch must resist with a successful coordination test or suffer blah 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 blah. Oh, this is also a touch range spell. Whatever.
It's a what?
This is a spell that you have. This is a touch range.
Well, I was in engagement, so it was
Yeah.
fluff was the jumping and all that shit.
No, I know, but it also like there's stuff in there. It's like if you have to for spells that involve touching stuff, you can also rule that blah 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 blah. Whatever. Not gonna worry about it.
Okay.
But yes, I need to resist with coord. So let me get his coordination up. What the fuck is your coordination, buddy? How coordinated are you? You are not
Yeah,
as
I do,
coordinated as
hold
I
on.
thought you were. Right, because I wanted to give you some weaknesses.
Do you have anything to do with coordination?
Yeah.
It's to dodge. Your what about your spells?
Do I want to
Well, the
reroll
one I want to
this?
use, they can't dodge.
Nah, fuck it. He eats it.
He eats
He rolled
it?
a 70. He eats it. He rolled a 70. And
Okay.
I've got 2 rerolls left essentially in my pocket, so fuck it. He just eats this.
D10 plus my brawn bonus.
Your BB, if you will.
It's not a lot of damage. 11. But
But
cannot move for 1 turn.
okay.
As when he hits the ground, there's a
And this can't do
shock
injuries,
wave
can it?
of glacial
Oh,
ice.
you can inflict injuries as if this were a melee weapon.
Yeah.
Okay,
Did he get
so he went to serious.
Because you took 18 before. Yeah.
So he went to serious. So roll the injury. Wait, let me check some things real quick. But yeah, this guy can take injuries, right? He can take injuries. Okay, yes.
So it's
That was not one of the. I
serious.
thought about giving him that, but he can take injuries.
So that's
Yes, this is serious.
That's 2d6. But because I have a trait that I purchased, the last trait I picked up was There Will Be Blood. I always roll
Fine.
an extra injury die.
Right. So this could be bad for him.
Injury.
Yay!
Oh God! All right. As it occurs to me, I don't have that open in front of me, and I should have had the.
I got one.
Opening up the list of injuries. I gotta find out what the fuck you did.
I knew There
I don't know
Will Be
what
Blood would
is
be helpful.
Gonna happen
permanent
here.
vicious.
Where the fuck
Yeah, this is
Is
resist
the
with awareness. This
injury
doesn't
table.
get resisted. This doesn't get resisted. This is resist with scrutinize.
You could also do
Okay.
a coordination or a takedown, which requires a disarm or a takedown, which requires.
I'd have to hustle and do that. I do more damage with the magic missile.
Okay,
in
then
chapter 11?
Okay. I was just looking for
Gotta
the
find-
extra, see
How
if we
long does
could...
it last?
Chapter
If it lasts
11.
my turn, I can try and do something with a takedown.
What, Knife in the Dark?
This is a
Yeah.
serious
It lasts until
injury.
his next activation. Until the
Gotta
next
roll a
turn.
D100.
So,
What did you do to him? It's
if we're
really
treating
serious.
this as, like the way with the Still
Roll
with
an
the Blind,
E4.
it wouldn't be until... Not this turn, but
Ha!
next turn.
You are knocked prone. Until fully recuperated, you cannot move as you're paralyzed.
I paralyzed him?
You hit him with temporary paralysis. You are knocked prone
I
until
froze
fully
him.
recuperated. So here's the thing. That's a capital R in recuperated. Does that mean by recuperated does this system mean like in a couple of weeks when you heal?
Do you need a
Yeah.
doctor? My friend's a doctor,
Alright.
but she's not gonna help you. Haha.
Okay,
I'm not
okay.
leaving you to die in a
So-
bomb.
Describe your attack again real quick and I can get some narration going on here.
He through his focus and realizing that this place is a playground of the mind to a degree, he focuses on his natural home turf advantage and a wrestling ring post is behind him. He climbs to the top rope and does a jumping double foot stomp, but his feet are wreathed in cold, as when he lands, it sends out a shockwave of ice.
And like as he does, like the song kind of reaches its crescendo at the end of that fucking like don't be afraid to listen to your own heart. It's like he's like streaking downward, and like as he does, like we see like the feet, and then like the camera goes up past his face, and his face is just this like snarling like mass. It's just like as the camera kind of holds on for a second, and then like he comes in to Mr. Nightmare is like reaching up to kind of like punch back, like he breathes in and like his whole body kind of goes like thin as it expands his arm into this giant muscly power arm. So he's just sort of this thin rail of shadow with like this angry, like there's no smiling anymore, just this as this enormous arm goes flying up towards
Such a good face.
towards RTM's feet, and it's like as it connects, like the whole scene freezes for a second. It goes like big blast Sonic, whoosh into him. That's a heartbeat in you. It's like you go through the arm, and the arm does like this spirally kind of shockwave. Like you hit it, and you stop, but then like the shockwave passes through it, and like the boom as it like shakes down the whole form, and the arm just like like first it unravels into like this pale, sickly white arm as the shadows are blown off of it. That arm then freezes and shatters as Artyom continues his travel through it. And the the twisted thin rail shadow form just kind of, you know, in what is it called, Little Mermaid, how the poor unfortunate souls that Ursula's got are like these little shriveled tiny people. It's kind of like it becomes this little, it's like that, it's like this shadow creature with no arms or legs, and it's just like a body and a head, as it goes like shrivels down.
Yes. Or the
What'd you say?
The Fern Gully.
In Fern Gully, when
the
oily monster at the end starts to like...
Oh god, it's been so long, yeah. Jesus, I haven't thought about Ferngully in a minute.
I know, when you said small, pathetic little creature, I immediately thought of the aliens from Space Jam when they didn't have the basketball players' powers. That's where my brain was.
We're learning a lot about our touchstones as individuals.
What did you think about?
Yeah, what was your thought
What did you think about, Xandra?
was-
Give me your mind.
Full on trying to imagine what Fox was describing, so I'm painting it in my head.
Oh, we're bad kids. We were like, movies!
Thank you. If I can get back to my dramatic conclusion now.
Yes.
Please do.
As your duly appointed games mistress, where was I? Yes. So it shrivels back down into this tiny form and kind of flops down onto the floor, and then like as it hits the floor, it like dissipates, and there's just Mr. A Striker, and he's like laying on the ground, and you guys are, you know, you're still in a dream, but you're in that office again. You're just there. The door is shut, like it's not opened out into the hallway or anything. But
There's
the
a
room
door
is like
again?
normal. And
There's a door again?
I kicked the door open.
it's a door. Yeah, but it's closed. It's weird. I know. Again, you know you're not awake. You can tell that you're not awake. But like you've passed enough focus tests that you guys are essentially lucid dreaming right now, and you know you're asleep. But the environment has shunted back to sort of this default state. It's kind of hard to understand dream logic, you know. But he's fallen to the floor and he's helpless on the ground and just sort of croaking up at the three of you. Quick check on, yeah, you guys still have an activation left. It's still your go as he's just laying there, just no. This is my house. This is my house.
Shut up. And Xandra's going to walk over, and I'm going to spend an EX, if you don't mind.
Oh,
Knock him
a
out
fortune?
entirely? No, yeah. I wanted to see if it was okay if I went.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was actually being like, go.
You were, but I wanted to make sure the other person who hadn't gone yet is okay with it. Yeah, that's why I'm offering.
I was been at the top of this round.
Go over, and I'm going to spend an EX to use Shut Eye on him.
Sure.
So he just.
Oh no, it's gonna be like Inception. You're putting him to sleep inside a dream.
See what happens when he just.
Reverse?
I mean, he's already knocked prone,
Sorry.
rendered helpless. They can resist with awareness, but we can do what we did with Anya.
Control.
Mm-hmm.
It was 100. I crit failed. I can't sleep for the next 24 hours.
After this, I don't blame you for not wanting
Would
to.
you like to? I mean,
It's
fair.
a crit
Okay,
fail.
we can
I
rock with this
cannot.
if you want. Oh, and a crit fail, you can't reroll,
Yeah,
right?
you can't spend fortune on crit fails.
Xandra,
Fucking.
who is the only one covered in drying blood and bruises, cannot sleep for the next 24 hours.
Yep.
Describe what would have looked like when you were about to do something. As the three of you sort of stand over him and look down at him.
The way
What were you
it
going
is
to
that
do?
Xandra did it to Annie once before. She walked up and went to go grab his neck and the area with the nerves right underneath the muscle and press in with her finger until he passed out. It would have just been quick and quiet.
You go down there to do that, and he kind of like twitches over his eyes, like as you hit there, those pressure points, his eyes snap over to you, and his neck, like he like reaches over and buries his teeth into your wrist. Just and you wake up. And you are in the office. Your two friends slumped against the wall. You can hear the beeping suddenly again of the self-destruct device from the computer. A Striker is let's see, where would he actually have been? He's on the behind the desk on the far wall. He's not in the chair. He's actually kind of like slumped himself against the wall. He's got his hands kind of like this, just slumped against the wall, drooling slightly. But your two friends are kind of in a pile on the floor, on like just sort of plumped on top of each other, as though they had walked in and just thumped on top of each other. You were laying right down there next to them, but you wake up first. And that is we're gonna take our break. Well, Xander thinks about what she wants to do next.
Oh, I already know what I want to do next. It's fine.
Wake up.
Folks,
Oh, not against you.
this is-
I was gonna crack him in the face with a combat boot.
Oh, jeez.
Very good. So this is the halfway point of the stream here. This is a good time to get up, go pee, get a drink, do what you need to do to take care of your body. Your body has needs too.
Mm-hmm.
See to them. Yeah, we come back to you, and you've woken up, and yeah, there's your friends, there's him, there's the beeping thing. The door is, as you remember it, kicked open, and across the room, as you, what on earth is happening up there?
Pocket meringues.
Okay, focus, Fox. As you kind of like look and get your bearings, you also notice across the hall there's another door. This one looks reinforced and has a little keypad next to it. But yeah, you're here. You're in this room.
We're sleeping.
I'm glad to see you had enough to bring for the entire class.
Got my dark chocolate because my favorite. Wait, before I do that, let me explain what I'm gonna do. First thing I'm gonna do is slap Artyom.
Wait, what kind of chocolate is that?
Dark chocolate.
Linder truffles.
So, babe, do we still have any Lindors in the house? If we do, bring me one. All right.
Wife.
We usually keep Lindors around, but then we lost power for like a week, and now
Yeah.
there's no food in Austin. So, anyway,
When you guys
we do
visit,
not.
we'll
Damn
have
it!
some. It's
All
fine.
right. Yeah, we've got like no snacks left, do we, babe? Damn it. Okay. Anyway, no Lindors for me. Even though it was my birthday earlier this week. I'm kidding. Anyway, what are you doing? You kick Artyom to wake him up. Yes.
Well, I reach over and I just slap him to see if he budges at all.
Artyom, somebody's slapping you awake. How do you react? I should really close the chat too. Now
No, the cows will milk themselves, Bauschka.
Hi. Can I get past me?
Hmm?
We have a bomb.
Drool. She drools.
Oh.
She's a drooler.
Oh.
it's a mountain of drool.
Are you awake? Ah.
Well, I guess that doesn't tell me anything in retrospect.
I'm gonna try to get
You
open
just
that
got
door
handed-
over there.
Is that just a bowl of kibble? It looks like cat food.
Oh, it's what's it?
Oh, it's candy. Okay.
It's chocolate chips.
It's chocolate chips.
Okay.
Okay, I see the little curlies
Yeah.
on it. It just
They
looked
are-
like you
they are-
just got
are
handed
peanut butter.
a container of cat food and you were just like, "Ow." You said there were no
Real-
snacks in the
Real
house.
dark time in Texas right now.
Fox kibble. Yeah.
No, it's fuckable.
There we go.
What?
Can you?
Chug.
Okay.
Thank you, baby.
I'm gonna try to get that door open over there. We don't know what he's hiding. I think Carla's here.
Oh, okay.
He's over there drooling.
No, you take care of him. I'll handle the door.
There's a keypad. I can get it open.
I got the door. He heard there's a door. There must be a fight.
Sandra,
Okay.
Do you have enough? Do we need him?
I'm not gonna let him stay here while this place explodes. It's better for the dragons if they have something to take their aggravation out on, right?
We don't need him.
Well, if you want to keep him alive, you carry him.
Alright.
And Esme turns and kind of just...
Think of it this way: Memnath is going to do worse things to him, and then RTM is going to press all three punch
Xandra,
buttons at the same time.
The weakest person in the group is standing over this unconscious form, like...
RTM. So you're just gonna punch the big reinforced metal door?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just checking to make sure that's what you're doing. That's not me questioning it to say you shouldn't. Just I want to make sure I understand what you're punching. Is it specifically punching that
He's
door?
gonna stand in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Crack his knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
Really focus on his prosthetics.
Mm.
And then give the biggest spinning lariat he can into the door.
Give me a brawn at a -30.
Brawn at -30.
Yeah.
All right.
It is brawn, right? I'm not crazy there.
Still a 35.
We got fortune. You have a record with doors.
Nope.
Or no, okay, yeah.
Or I can go open it.
You could try and open it.
Yeah.
It's very dramatic, and you flex, and the muscle, like we see, like your fingers like curl and tighten, and then the muscles in your forearm and your this part, bicep, whatever, go and like flex up, and your chest muscles flex up, and like everything like tenses, and like we see RTM's chin like grit, and he goes and like it's very dramatic and slow as he's and as soon as your fist makes contact, it's just boom, and a single like anime tear. And from the other side of the door, RTM?
Log?
I'm not. Yes, it's Carla. Hey, what the hell? You guys gotta let us out of here.
I was trying. It seems you are trapped in there forever. I cannot open door.
I said I could try.
Is the nerd there?
Yeah. Nerd's here, Ninja Kid.
Okay, nerd, can you get? There's a code.
I'm aware. I'm currently babysitting the unconscious form of the RTM, you carry this guy. I kick
I'll
a
watch
striker in
him.
the leg. No. Last time someone died around you, they came back as a weird ghost thing. That's not happening again.
I mean, you could kill him and see what happens.
We already have enough final bosses for like 15 more seasons. We don't need another one. Please don't kill him.
Console myself with more chocolate.
Xandra just kicks the leg of the of a striker who's drooling and is just gonna stomp out the door and just look at RTM and like,
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah.
I'd like to do this before the bomb goes off.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. I'm gonna try opening the door.
Sometime before the bomb goes off.
He didn't deny it. It was while you're taking care of the door, RTM dejectedly is going to pick up the drooling, paralyzed man.
He's sleeping nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like such an angel. He doesn't. He looks like this awful, drooling 40-something schlub. It's just bad. He doesn't smell amazing either.
We
I'm gonna try
probably
to get
don't
the door
either.
open.
All right. So, how are you going about this door situation? You have a big reinforced metal door. It's kind of like not a bank vault, but it's like
There's
a
a key
big
code,
metal
right?
door with internal hinging. There is a keypad. It is 9-digit, no, 10-digit. It's a 10-digit keypad. There's a 0 there as well.
I would
And
like
then
to
just a
look-
little.
I would like to look to
That-
see if there's like when you can tell something's been used periodically with
oils?
the oils or the rubbing off of some of the numbers to make it smoother.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna look closely at those and then I'm gonna try to figure out a number sequence off that.
Okay, give me a scrutinize. Ooh, unless you've got some kind of special tool or way of going about it, this is gonna be at like a -20.
Do they have an app for that?
But I get
Because you're just like squinting at numbers.
if I have a few
Otherwise,
seconds though, I am determined to give myself a plus time.
We don't have much time though. There's an explosive.
There is an actual
device.
ticking time bomb.
Yep.
There's a literal ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
How much time needs to pass for determination to activate?
I have no idea. It just says if you have a moment to take a time for
It's
something.
vague.
It is vague.
Okay, so if it
If it's
says
not,
Yeah, that's
then
really
reach out
vague.
the totem.
Uh,
It's still a 30 at a negative 20.
If you I'll say this: if you want to risk it, I will let you go for it. I can't tell you what the consequences will possibly be, though. Oh,
it's an extended test.
So what constitutes an extended?
Rolling to accrue
Multiple
degrees of
successes.
success to build up to something.
So like a turns.
Yeah, multiple
Investigations,
turns.
probably.
Investigations crafting is an extended test.
like if you were doing like a massive like experiment that was like,
Yeah,
okay,
like
here's stage 1 of it, then here's stage 2, and then I need to like build a prototype. I think that's more of an extended test. This is more you just like really getting in there and looking at this thing.
Okay, then it's just a 30. It's a 9.
But you could roll a 9.
Fucking.
You just roll a fucking 9 like a boss.
Yeah.
There's just it turns out there's a post-it note sitting right next to it. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4.
If it's something
Pass
that
it.
could
Yeah.
have flashed across in the files on the computers when I was looking at that before.
Good job.
So
More chocolate!
Oh, I only paid 1. Okay.
Yeah,
I grabbed a handful of the linders. I have to... You already have a cake.
Kibble. Wow.
Put cake in your mouth.
I mean, we're on stream.
So we're gonna go to subscriber only for a few minutes while you put cake in your mouth. I'm waiting. Sorry, I got really distracted for some reason. Sweats and lesbian. Anyway, okay.
I wore
so,
those shoes today in honor of you after our conversation last night.
The rainbow shoes?
No, not
The
the,
buckle.
rainbow shoes.
Don't worry about that conversation, chat. Don't worry about what the fuck. There's a bomb going off. Damn it. All right. You do not need to be telling people about shoes and my proclivities. So anyway, we got a 9. All right. So you notice, one moment while I look at the keypad here on my desk and then reverse it. You notice that the 1, the 4, the 5, and the 0 are all worn down. It looks like this was hastily constructed a long time, or not a long time ago. And as such, all of the fucking buttons and the mechanism are all very pristine. It's weird that those 4 numbers, they look worn down. Like they look like somebody's been rubbing, like the sticker applied to the front of them has rubbed down a bit. So those are definitely the 4 digits that somebody's been using.
I don't know if it's a 4-digit, 5-digit, 6-digit, whatever code, just using 4 numbers.
Oh, you actually do. You can, looking at the display, there's like 4 little dashes up on the top of the little LCD display. It's a 4-digit code.
I love when they give that away.
Listen, their OPSEC isn't great, and this is anime.
Oh,
Or InfoSec, rather.
give me a couple minutes. 4 numbers. 4 spaces that need to go. How many? You literally can't double log bond them, so there's only 16 possibilities? Something like that.
Is there more to the hall we're in, by the way?
No. This hallway is actually... So it's weird. You don't remember seeing this other door here. You remember the hallway being longer. It's not. It's very short. It's different than you remember when you first came in here.
So we're gonna have to slip up the stairs through the rubble. To
There's
the stairs.
another door. Or are you saying that the door that I thought I kicked in is still there?
Give me... okay, so,
I'm in the
give me
process
awareness
of-
checks all around,
Oh, awareness checks?
actually. Yeah, just give me awareness checks all
She's
around.
not allowed to babysit, and she can't help.
Standard difficulty.
I make it.
Nope. I'm hungry.
Who did the thing?
Esme's a little too distracted and freaked out. It occurs to both Artyom and Xandra. Oh, the reason that we don't remember there being another door here is that when we came in, you now kind of remember because you've got 2 sets of memories in your brain, and one of them is starting to fade, and that's because it's the memory of a dream. Esme got the door open, and then there were 2 doors in the hallway, and because Esme had told Brooke, look for something, look for anything. When she can't talk, she was pointing at one of the doors, and the door she was pointing at was A Striker's, not the reinforced door.
Okay.
So Artyom's, when Esme saw that, pointed at that door, Artyom saw that, Esme said go to that door, and that's the one he kicked in. You guys then got asleepified somehow? You're not really sure because you just remember falling asleep at that point.
I will not fight
And then
The sleep witch.
at that
No.
and then because you yes. I will not fight you. I'm a sleep witch. I'll say the thing if you want me to. Fuck. Anyway, yes, it's the false memory of a dream that there was no door here and that the hallway was longer. Now that you're back in the waking world, you recognize your memory was briefly overwrote, and I, as the GM, was being a little tricksy on you there.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you did kick in that door though in reality as well, and it's clanged against the other side of the office room.
Wait.
It was really just this other door that you don't remember seeing in
What are the walls like?
concrete.
Hmm.
Poured concrete.
Make sure he doesn't run away. Standing next to...
I was wrong. It's 24 different possibilities of codes that you can have. There's literally, Xandra is going through her head and literally just going, all right, nope, boop, 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 boop.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Because I may have just figured it out, so.
Oh Jesus.
No, Artyom, no, I can do this. Please don't break the door I'm trying to open.
Oh, I'm not
Okay,
attacking door. Wall seems concrete. I break that all time in training.
Go for it, and
Oh,
I'm still gonna
no.
try the door.
Okay, well, I need 2 die rolls then. I need a. Okay, I want an education at standard difficulty for friggin' Xandra.
Thank you.
Artyom, give me another not toughness. What is it, like athletics or whatever? Brawn.
Brawn
Good
athletics.
punch time. No tough. Yeah. Yeah.
Same roll.
Give me athletics at -30.
Same number regardless.
It is, yeah, with him.
There's some premium
I
beef
make
right
it.
there.
I rolled a 5.
We both made our rolls.
So...
Okay, good. So you don't injure yourself
Oh.
when you go. So okay, 2 things happen simultaneously. Xandra, it occurs to you to start. Just like start at the start low with these numbers. So put the 0 first and bop some codes through. And you're bopping through them. 0145, nothing. 0451, click. Second code you put in, no problem. 0451 gets the door. You hear the ba-doop, and you go, I got it! Right as Artyom, let's full force go into the wall. You hear, I got it, and then boom! As Artyom's fist, sure enough, does hit the wall, crack it, shatter a big chunk of it, and then there's a noise of bending metal as he goes into the reinforced steel behind it.
We need to
A
open
reminder
the...
for
Oh,
the-
It's open.
Ba-da-choo!
I opened the door.
Esme's just
Yeah,
swatted by a
you-
striker, just slowly pushing his
No.
lip up.
Do you know
check
what
his
happened
teeth.
to the...
He didn't floss this morning.
I'm opening the door to get
Yeah.
Carla out.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a cavity, like, or not cavity, but he like had a filling. He's got a filling right up here up the front. You can see. You kind of push back. He's got a filling, silver filling.
I'm not
No.
I...
Carla.
Okay.
Log?
Yeah. There's a giant handle on the door, and you just kind of like wrench the whole thing, like it swings outward. And sure enough, there in the middle of the room, hands kind of on her hips, yeah, like squinting out at all of you, is Carla. It's a room. It's got like a whole. It's actually reasonably large, but not gigantic. There's basically a bunch of like mattresses up against like on the floor up against one of the walls on one side. and a toilet on the other side, like with a sink. But otherwise, there's not much exactly in here in the way of accommodations. And there's about 8 kids in here with her, at varying ages between 5 and 11, just kind of like crowded, huddled together behind her.
Zandra looks
Well,
at
there's
all
like
of
one
them.
little boy in particular that's like kind of like around, like hiding, looking at you from around her legs. He looks like he's maybe 7, and she's just kind of like standing there looking at you. Her scarf kind of like half pulled up on her face, still wearing, what she was a day ago. Well, it's about damn time.
Listen, nerd here. Something's about to happen that's gonna be real bad, so we gotta go. Don't ask questions.
How many
Let's
of them?
leave.
How many of them can you throw into logs? They're much easier to carry that way.
Please just grab a striker and let's leave the building.
Yeah, Esme stops quietly dissociating at his teeth. As yeah, come on, small one. She could lift a fucking child. It's fine. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
like
you could.
Yeah, she can. She just doesn't let you know. It's all the stairs.
It's all the stairs. The stairs.
all the stairs.
Take the
Yeah, like
What's
the
your
little one that was behind Carla. Carla's like, yeah, that's the friend I was telling you about, and he like runs over and like boomps onto you.
They're so
You kind of hold them up, like, and the rest of them like they follow. And
Don't
you're
think
just
they
making your
have
way
an
out, and
elevator.
just hauling ass out.
And I'm like standing behind them, making sure they're all leaving, making sure there's no kids trying to hide in the room. I don't want to
Oh
miss
yeah,
one.
there's nowhere really to hide.
Okay.
There's nothing in the room except the flat mattresses, the toilet, and the sink, and the fluorescent light,
Okay.
and like a vent, like this grated vent. That's obviously how air is getting in and out.
Think is sus.
That's
Let's
it.
go.
That's all that's in the room. Yeah, and like they pile out behind you, like
I
they
say-
baby duck behind you as you head back through the downstairs area. The computer blinking its little blinking. As you pass by the bomb, it's no longer flashing. It was flashing until you glance at it, and then it goes solid red
Nope.
as you're kind of passing by.
Run.
Yeah. You as you head to the stairs, you notice that while the debris from all of your fighting is still there, you don't see the lady with the staff or the dude with the gauntlets anymore. It seems they've departed, which is curious. You climb upstairs and you're making your way up past, like, again, there's a giant hole in the ground now where most of that floor was. And you're kind of like, people are helping kids kind of navigate through that. And as you look around, again, although there is the occasional bits of, blood and vomit and what have you from the fighting that happened up here, the glass and stuff from the door, the window that was bashed through, all of that here, you're not seeing any of the cultists that were left behind here. It seems they've also vanished. And you make your way to the front door. And as you step through it, because again, like it's oh god, it was sunset when you guys went down there. It's nighttime now. As you bash the doors open and go flying outward into the night, let's see. I
That's right.
want.
I actually used the door this time.
I mean, you can punch your way through it if you wanted, but I would like some. I think this is how do I measure fastness? I guess it's just coordination. That's agility. Yeah, give me standard coordination checks across the board.
You could say athletics as well.
Oh, athletics. That's right. This is totally athletics. Thank
It's
you.
Athletics. Okay.
Athletics.
Difficulty? Fuck.
Standard.
Okay.
Really? I needed a 40. I rolled a 41.
Critical success.
98.
Okay.
Let's go.
One moment. I check something in my notes here.
Oh, fortune?
This is it.
That's your call.
This is
There
getting
is a
away from the
bomb.
bomb.
We have small children, and there is
Yeah.
a bomb.
Yeah. Let's try it.
I mean, with the critical success, I will try to save everybody as much as I can, like picking people up
No.
and throwing them.
I still fail. You're already carrying an adult.
Nope, and I crit failed
That's
the
true,
second
you're-
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've got a critical success, a failure, and a crit failure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aw. Thank you, Riley.
RTM, you make your way out of there, and like again, it's just like we see you just hoop and boof kick through the door, as it's at the front of this place. It clearly had been closed as the mooks left. You just boom through it. It splinters outward and flies off its hinges. With like a striker over one arm and like one of the kids kind of just under the other, like, whoa, when did I get picked up? As you're like darting out of the place. So that counts for one. Another three come behind you as Xandra is kind of like stops and is like, no, I got to make sure that all of them get out of here. And she doesn't quite leave the building herself. She kind of stops to turn. It's like, come on, like, doing the duck on the heads as they like go by to make sure to count them through. And another three go out behind her. There's let's see, 5, 6, 7. All right, there's two more up in that upper area, and Esme at the back, kind of holding on to this last one. But unfortunately, as she gets to the top, there's just so much debris and rubble and crap on the floor that she kind of she trips and goes for a tumble, and twists herself to make sure that like the kid she's hanging on to doesn't get injured, like protects in the head, but then bonks down onto the floor herself. And he kind of scrambles to his feet, but she's like down and she's stuck and cracks her head a little bit on a rock, and the world kind of goes blurry. And RTM, as you turn back to see what's going on with your companions, you look, and Xandra turns and looks, and Esme, as your head kind of comes up, like the world is like slow motion as the darkness of nighttime shifts into this orangey red color as the fireball erupts underneath this place and begins to push its way slowly up through the corridor. And Esme kind of turns her head back in this half slow blink, and we see the light of it reflected in her eyes. And outside, Artyom, there's a blur of motion. Something blows past you like a comet. Like a streak of black and red.
Oh.
The shockwave of the travel knocks Xandra backwards into the sort of front desk reception desk thing as it pushes past her. And Esme, as you try reflexively to cover your head from the inevitable explosion coming up from below, the fire and just awful heat overtaking you and melting flesh from bone, it never comes. And you open your eye, you kind of open one eye and then open the other, and you see legs. And standing above you is a very grumpy red dragon man. Asteros is there.
It's standing in front of us.
And he's got his hand out towards the fire. Like his clawed hands are just sort of waving out towards it. And in a motion, he pulls his arm around and upwards towards the sky and into the Northern California night sky. There's just all of the force of the blast and the flames are directed upwards and explode out the roof of the winery. Bits of wood splintering off everywhere, ash and smoldering bits of wood raining down. Like it starts to kind of drift a bit down around Artyom. Like there's a little like a bit of flame kind of like lands on his head for a second there and fizzles out, staring back at this scene that is over in an instant. It's just like fractions of a second and this goes down. And Asteros is just standing there with he's got his arm up and he slowly lowers it as this gentle rain of ash and fire kind of flows around. And he glances backwards, or he sort of turns and looks back at the three of you.
That's twice now.
Okay.
That's not where I would have gone first.
The three of you have a lot of explaining to do.
I just kind of point to Artyom through the door.
He's got by the pants, like wedgie holding
A striker.
a striker. Like the way a father picks up a disgruntled toddler in the grocery store that's having a tantrum, holding him like that.
Mhm. He nods.
I have to give him to Prelion, though. I promised.
Come with me. And we cut to kind of a wide shot of this whole situation. We're in the sky now, looking down at the smoldering building, the still smoke and shit coming out of the top of the winery. Some little small fires having started a bit in the surrounding environs. When as we pull back, we see the road, and down the road is coming a collection, a cacophony, one might say, of emergency vehicles, sirens, spinning and wailing, as a fire truck and several police cars are pulling in from this. And this aerial view, this top down, we kind of see the red and blue telltale signs of police cars pulling onto the property, and emergency workers spilling out to deal with the damage and to collect a small gaggle of wayward children. And we kind of we crossfade from that scene to the school. Actually, the three of you walking in the front gate with Asteros, walking past like the security guy who's normally there at that little front booth that we last saw when we first saw the elders Sinclair, whose name I'm blanking on. God, Maximum. When
Thank you
Maximum
for
came through,
forgetting
that
his
same
name.
security
Called
guy.
him Elder.
He would be so pissed.
Yeah. Thank you.
Forgot his
You
name
know.
for a second.
My heart.
Xander's dad.
Oh,
You know, Xander's
I
dead.
forgot your name. What was it, sir?
Oh, the one day that happens, Xandra's life will be complete. That's all she wants.
But we see that guy, and he's kind of he's just on his phone. He kind of like glances up, and then like sees the Astros doesn't look at him, but he kind of like looks at Astros and just goes back to his phone. As the three of you kind of cross, the moment you cross the threshold, from out of a bush we see like pops a little referee head body form just out of the bushes as it awkwardly floats over, and it's kind of like at the bottom of it's kind of swaying, like the top is steady, but it's like a bell trying to sway over its way, floating over towards Xandra.
Hey, buddy.
But and as it does, like Astros just kind of puts a clawed hand over its face, this part of it, but it's a tube, and just pushes it aside. Like doesn't throw it, just. Ugh.
I thought I was gonna rip him in half again, and I was gonna get very upset.
Oh no, it could only be hurt.
But
so
as the
badly.
three of you continue walking, it just like na 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 na
Thanks,
na
buddy.
na 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 as you get further and further away.
Oh.
Got a
buddy.
musical accompaniment on the way into our deaths. It's fine, guys.
He marches you up the path towards the front of the school. You see that statue of Xandra's dad still there, still flexing, still like looking down with those eyes that follow you. At the base, however, what's interesting is that there's Monty, and he's kind of sitting there. He's doing the whole like I'm sitting and I've got my right leg up and my hands are kind of on it. That kind of, you know, the like whoop kind of thing. One leg up, one leg down, kind of watching as this happens.
How I'm sitting?
But you don't. Sorry, what?
That's how I'm sitting.
There you go. As Monty confirmed for buy. But you notice that
Oh.
Asteros turns away on the road there. He doesn't head into the building. He marches you to the right, eastward, towards the open field in the northeast of the school.
Firebrand.
And in the distance, we see shrouded a bit because it's dark, but it's anime, so it's in that sort of bluish day for night look. one half of the pyramid kind of glints in the full moonlight, the other two sides of it wreathed in shadow, as he's silently walking you guys this way. And as you make your way across the field, the referees, can't imagine why I keep losing that word, the not deckmen, start forming a little like corridor almost, like it's a procession in a way. Oh, for the record, you still have a striker with you. He's still passed out. Just I wanted to make sure that was absolutely clear. You didn't lose him. The kid's absent, but this guy you've still got.
No, he wouldn't have let him out of sight.
No, yeah. And Astros didn't make any attempt, interest, or move towards it. Like, indeed, like, Astros would have cast a glance at any cop coming near any of you, and they would have been like, no, thank you.
Gotta go.
Yeah, I have to, it's skin o'clock, I gotta go, bye.
Shift's over.
Half past Freckle, gotta get going. Gonna be late.
So he, but yeah, there's like this line, like these pillars, almost mimicking that line of champions you walk down, but now it's just all of these referees, and there's kind of a sinister calm to it. They're not making any noise. They're not cheerfully greeting you with the 1812 overture. And as he walks up to the pyramid, you come to that lit side of it that's kind of catching a little bit of the moonlight. And he sort of just waves his hands. He does a left to right kind of swipe with his hands. And how can I describe this? It's like the wall spirals open, essentially. It's as if you were drilling into something, but there's like an invisible drill digging into the side of this thing as it kind of goes into it and begins to form a long circular corridor into the side of the pyramid.
So you're saying he's very efficient at drilling.
Stop it. It's ready warm already. There was a fire.
Jesus. Okay, now that it's weird. Brain, I had a cool image for this. The interior of the tunnel also has sort of a spiraling pattern of those blue energy lines, like you saw, or they're not blue here. They're black, and there's like blue. They're black lines that occasionally blue pulses travel down, much like you saw in Preleon's place. But they're in a corkscrew pattern down the corridor. So again, as if like that somebody had taken and drilled out an area. It's like the drill had left behind these markings as it created this hallway. And as though he needs to say it, he turns back to the three of you, hooks a thumb at the opening in the pyramid, and says, "Inside." And then turns and goes inside the opening.
Following right along.
As you step inside, like we get kind of a reverse shot of the three of you following him in, and all of the referees kind of form like a semicircle around that opening. And then we get like a wide angle exterior shot as we see there's such a giant semicircle of them protecting that whole side of the pyramid. And in a reverse motion of how it had opened, that opening just kind of spirals back closed, and it's completely seamless once you're once it's finished. Inside, it is a strange thing. It's you get through the circular hallway, and you end up in a you walk for a while, honestly. You walk for a good 40-50 seconds or so to kind of getting down to the end of this thing, and eventually that spiraling pattern evens out until it's just two black lines along the floor. The walls themselves, now that you're inside, are the usual kind of silvery white material you're used to seeing on the exterior of the pyramid, but now that you're inside and you're closer, you can see there's a very light texture to it. Actually, give me an awareness test. Everybody, standard difficulty. See if you notice something about these walls in particular.
That'll be a success for me.
Success for me.
Yeah, now that you're close enough to the pyramid to actually look, you notice that there's like a slight texture to the walls that you recognize and remember from the times you have closely examined and touched the referees. It looks like it's the same material the referees are made out of.
We're inside
And-
giant referee.
Mekareth.
No.
Loudspeakers from everywhere. Oh god.
I'm here to protect you.
Oh god,
Get
where's the
inside my
board
body.
Obstruction detected.
It's the Unicron of refs.
But yeah, and so the wall also seems to sort of like, you're not sure where the light's coming from, but it's well lit in here. It's like reasonably bright. You can see where you're going, and the floor, the spirally lines on the walls kind of become a track along the floor almost as you're kind of walking down them, and eventually that terminates in a room that is like so the overall shape of the room is a big fucking cube. The thing about it is that around the room are like cube-like protrusions. Like imagine that the room was made itself out of a series of blocks, right? And some of those blocks had been pushed up out of the floor, and some of them had been pushed down into the floor a little bit. And you're drumming your fingers about like I did something here.
It's the Pandora training stage. From Cross Tekken.
Yeah, it totally is the Cross Tekken training stage.
I don't know what it looks like, so
Yeah.
it's new to me.
I mean,
I'm going to continue describing it. For one of my players, you see
I
that.
immediately see that, yeah.
Yep. I was wondering where I was getting that image from, but yes. So it's so you have this uneven terrain, but it's extremely me hitting the microphone. It's extremely
Nope. It's a
like geometrical. It's like cubes have been pushed up and in and out. The walls are also that way. And as you kind of glance up, you notice the ceiling is that way too. It's all kind of weirdly uneven, except for a path leading out from your hallway. And then essentially a big flat area. There's like a large square in the middle that is flat and smooth that you can stand upon. So the room, all told in size, God, it's huge. It's like, maybe it's a 60, 70, 80 foot cube. It's enormous.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
is
big fucking room. It's real big. Actually, hang on. Fox, think about how big feet are.
That's like a hockey rink. Like
Yes. It's enormous.
Oh,
Nassau
Yeah,
Coliseum.
it's like standing. Yeah, it's like standing in the middle of a hockey rink, essentially. Like but it's empty except for like this platform, this stuff protruding out. And at the end of this, in that little square that you can tell that you can walk upon and stand upon, which is probably itself like a 30-foot square, there are two familiar forms. One, a woman in a white lab coat with a light smile upon her face, and the other, a man with silver hair and glasses in a suit, scowling lightly. It is, of course, the other two dragons. And he marches you into that little square. And there's just sort of a beat. There's a moment as he walks over to the others, and Memneth stands in the center with Praleon at his right and Asteros at Praleon at his left, Asteros at his right.
After a pregnant pause, just unceremoniously dump him at the exact 50-yard line between the two groups. I believe we have found your problem.
Memneth is the first to speak. Yes, I would actually. Unfortunately, I can't put effects on my voice, so I can't give you the proper like reverberation that this gives. The room has a bit of an echo to it, but when Artyom speaks, there's a slight echo. when Memneth speaks, it's more like a resonance with the rest of the room. And he says,
Using the voice.
Sorry. My name is a killing word. He says, shit, I completely lost it now. I would like an explanation. Where have you been? How did you get there? What is this? As he indicates to a striker on the floor. And then he just stands there silently waiting for the response.
This is the person kidnapping your students from school grounds.
And your security breach with the refs.
And the one
Explain.
working for the cult.
He glances over at Astros, who just kind of like looks back at Memneth and just and then Memneth looks back at the three of you and says, "Explain."
Do you have a laptop?
He looks at Esme. And does not respond.
You can use my phone.
It's Chiana facing down the Emperor.
Hold the phone up and it's just with the data. Like, we've collected the data for your
Preleon
review.
steps forward and just kind of like offers her hand out towards like the stuff you're holding, and just kind of offers you this sort of gentle smile of like, I can take that.
Her hands are very sweaty. She hands it over. She rubs her hands all
Make a
on her
coordination
leg,
check.
realizing-
If you drop the phone, you'll be killed. No,
That's my phone. Yes, you will.
like as you're handing it over, like Preleon actually puts her hand on top of yours as you're kind of handing it, and she gives you this very sort of soft, gentle smile and kind of nods, and then takes the drive and the phone, and then the clip-clop of her heels reverberate as she like heads over to another part of it, and a section of the floor like whoops up out of the ground, and she just places the devices on top of the pillar and starts making some gestures.
Oh. Like wireless charging, but with whole thing.
I think my phone's going to explode. That's fine.
What are we? What is this?
This,
Explain.
This was your once art teacher, but also member of Cult of All-Seeing Eye?
Seekers of the Mind's
Seekers
Eye.
of the Mind's Eye. That is their name that I will never get right.
English is
Yes, I'm
hard.
familiar with the cult.
They were doing things on campus that were affecting your students. And also, he seems to be the one that was responsible for tampering with referee's system, as well as the situation where our items were stolen.
Our Carla was stolen too by them.
Yes, that as well.
He turns again and looks at Astros. Says, "The student who was kidnapped. And you have proof?"
Aside from nearly comatose man in front of us, that is information on phones. And
he turns and looks over at Preleon and says, "Just one moment." As again, she's like making these gestures in the air, and after a second, again, there's like a little pregnant pause as systems interface, and there's just a
Whoa.
little
18 plus kids.
and her yes, 18 plus, and her little her little fucking horns kind of go whoop, perk up as she like happily completes her task. There we are, and kind of gracefully sweeps her arm up to the air, and a screen like a there's the outline of a giant screen, like a jumbotron sized screen, kind of draws itself, and then chunks of it at a time in like little boxes kind of fill in, showing the contents of the files that she's looking at, and begins to pull things up over there. And Cassandra, Jesus, Xandra. I'm so sorry. I keep doing that. Xandra, you recognize immediately, like, oh, these were some of the files I was pulling down. Like, you see the personnel files that were on there. You see some of the logs that you were going through and observing. Like, and it just kind of like starts to flicker by, and like Memneth like turns around, and we see as the audience, as he's glancing up at it, like his eyes sort of shimmer a bit and have a bit of a silvery glow to them that kind of swirls past as he's like observing the data, and he holds his own fingers up towards the screen, and just again with another gesture, and then it's just a blur of information, and his head snaps back to the three of you.
I'm good with computers.
This does not explain how he disrupted the referee network. Do you have more information?
Well, they were the one. He was the one that stole our things and placed them around the school.
During the time the first breach happened.
When our things were stolen, so through deductive reasoning, one could say that it points to him as most likely subject.
Because, you know, he could go into our heads, so he could probably also go into their heads, right?
My personal effects are still in his classroom.
Your personal effects are of little consequence to this investigation. Retrieve them at your earliest convenience.
Oh, I already
He steps
rewrote
over.
them. I left them there as evidence that... Xandra
Wait,
had
Fox only caught half of that. You did what now?
Xandra had started being like, I already rewrote them. I don't need them, in full stubbornness, and then shut up as soon as she realized who he was talking
Just
to.
like a panicked face from Esme. Like,
Yeah, and then just being like, oh yeah, dragon.
Dragon, eat your face.
Yeah, he doesn't regard you in the slightest. He's just him walking over to the unconscious form of Mr. A Striker.
It'll just be like Cell in the Kamehameha wave, and that's just gone.
And as he kind of glances down at him, and then he glances over at Astros, who is also the whole time. Actually, Artyom, give me an awareness check.
Oh. Succeed. If it was standard difficulty.
Astros has been staring. Huh?
If it was standard difficulty.
Yes, sorry, it was standard difficulty.
Then yes.
This is not a hard thing to notice. It's just the only reason it's even a check is because you're very nervous right now. Artyom, Astros has been staring at you the whole time. Except when he has to address Memneth, he's been looking at you the whole time. And you notice this because he kind of like, when you like look over, because Memneth looks over at him, and then you kind of, your eye line reflexively traces, and your eyes meet with Astros's for a second. And then he glances at Memneth and then down at A Striker. And Astros walks up.
Check me.
Oh no! Oh no!
oh,
Oh.
record it.
And
At least it's better than my father.
Go on.
I hate this. He reaches down, and Astros lifts up A Striker. You know, it's cooler if he doesn't use his actual hands. Memneth goes up like this with his hand, and you see A Striker's body just kind of like levitate up off the ground and flop backwards. And Astros kind of comes over and regards him. If he knows anything, I will get it from him. You will have your secrets, Memneth. And he kind of like grabs him by the neck.
Be careful with him. He has very strong mental powers. He makes You are well prepared to handle any challenge that is presented in front of you. I will shut up now.
Do not speak to me.
Oh,
Oh! Uh-oh.
uh-oh.
And
Uh-oh.
he, like,
You're frozen.
flings a striker, like, kind of, like, off to the side, and... Oh,
Oh, you're back.
You're back.
Okay.
am I still here?
There
Am I
was-
still here?
There was a stutter, and then, like, the audio, like,
Am I back?
caught up.
Yes.
You're good.
We're good. Everything's fine now. It was cinematically, it was just the moment held longer than
Yeah.
we
Okay.
anticipated.
Okay.
Huh.
Whew, we're here. Okay.
Instability. Okay.
He eats the guy across the room, and you like another one of those like tunnels spirals open, and he just disappears into it. Just, A Striker's gone now. He's left the stage.
Oh.
He's left the stage of history. Whoosh.
Nightmares, if you will.
Yes.
Ring out.
Out of the ring. God, focus. This is the big climax. Memneth, however, hasn't bothered to look at any of this. Praleon kind of glanced back over her shoulder when it was going down and scoops up the phone and the USB drive and is bringing them back over directly to Xandra, and just kind of with a light smile sort of hands them back.
Get the keeping?
Memneth just kind of... This seems to check out. He was certainly a part of the cult. Sorry, he was certainly a part of the Speakers of the Mind's Eye. Apologies, I have to find the character's voice again. We will pry from him whatever he knows about the weaknesses in the referee network, but for now I am satisfied that your actions have led not to our suspicions that you were the problem, but in fact you have returned to me as a solution. You are to be commended. Well done. Xandra Sinclair, I'm to understand that you are now a member of the student council.
Yes, sir. Second seat.
Excellent. We will be seeing more of each other in the future soon then.
Looking forward to it.
Praleon kind of steps forward and gives you this smile, and it's just like, yeah, oh, and then a bunch of sirens go off, and hopefully it's not coming over the microphone.
Nope, you can't hear it. You're good.
Very, very loud.
Oh, there it
Oh,
was.
there it was. There.
It's fine.
And then the cops are here. Kick in the door. Praleon kind of steps forward and says, yes, I'm particularly looking forward to seeing how much you know about healing. You're familiar with human anatomy, yes?
Yeah, I have a couple broken ribs right now, actually, but I feel great.
Oh, well, we'll have to see to that. I can't have one of our star students in less than optimum shape. We have much to teach you. Memneth kind of, yes, speaking of, fuck, Artyom Sokolov.
Yes.
We are aware that you are in possession of a certain manner of technology. He wouldn't be around the bush like this. We are aware that you are in possession of our technology. Under normal circumstances, we would not permit this in the hands of humans, but extenuating circumstances and your recent actions have caused us to reevaluate the potential use for your continued possession of these relics.
Stop right there. Hold on.
You tell him to stop and he raises an eyebrow. but stops talking.
I do not want your permission to remain whole. I want you to accept that these are part of me.
Indeed. And that, it seems, is part of the problem. So, as such, you will accept that a certain amount of discretion is now required for their continued part of you. In essence, part of you belongs to us. As such, and he turns towards Asteros, my compatriot here has requested, and we have agreed, that he will function as something of an overwatch for your situation and your continued training in how to utilize them properly. And Astros kind of steps forward and shoves his hands into his pockets and just looks. And again, he's just like looking at you, RTM. But he gets kind of a little like grin of like, I look forward to teaching you much.
No. If being able to walk and perform and be as I am requires that I am at your mercy, I don't want this, and I will find a way to be strong on my own. If that is the case, either accept me as I am and as I have this, or I will not have this, and I will find another way. And I can tell you that I would make you regret that.
Memnith's expression doesn't change, but Astros snarls a bit and his hands come out of his pockets. But Memnith just kind of like, he doesn't turn towards him, he just sort of slightly leans his head and raises his hand just like in a hold gesture. And Astros just kind of sneers a bit over towards his, what is rapidly becoming clearly his superior to the three of you. Your terms are acceptable. We will negotiate the nature of our property's release. And then he just turns to Esme.
She's just staring at Artyom's, and then Sandra's having a heart attack in the corner, just like, you wanted to learn about human anatomy, it's about to jump out of my chest.
What the hell is Esmere's last name? I keep forgetting.
Akar.
Akar. Esmere Akar. You are a curious creature.
Thank you. It would seem the only.
Your assistants. Oh. No, wait. What'd you say?
It would seem the only people that are interested or curious in me are not great people. I hope that isn't always the case.
A strange aura follows you. Your assistance in this recent matter is appreciated. He like tips his head slightly towards you. See to it that whatever you have does not become a threat to us. The three of you are dismissed. And he kind of like just waves his hand at you, and like the behind you, way back there, like that thing spirals open again.
He's excited, sweaty paws grab both of you. Like, I'll see you Friday.
And Pralegon just kind of waves and smiles.
Give a little bit of a dojo bow before you leave the mat, and then turn and.
Astros looks pissed.
He's
still looking at you, RTM, and he looks pissed.
I have an extended arc antagonist. Great. Let's go.
Yeah.
And
and
we walk
the
out.
three of you leave with your data in hand. you make it out through the little tunnel, and we kind of go to a bit of an epilogue. So
Wait, RTM got his finger up.
yes, please.
Soon as
Unless
we
you got something, yeah.
As soon as we get outside onto the grass and the pyramid closes behind us,
Totally.
take a big deep breath. So, we go back to the dorm.
What he always says. Continue, sorry.
We will relax a little bit. And then we start deciding who is best match for seats of 1 and 3 for Esme and I.
And just like coming up the field, and it's got his arms out, and they're holding like little bull horns.
That's my little buddy.
I'm here for your protection.
Thanks.
Oh, God.
I love him. Alexandra actually says out loud, looking at him.
As he explodes into confetti, the other referees, several of them are shuffling you, kind of like trying to like force you away from the pyramid. Now the others are busying themselves by like picking up all of the confetti. But because they're outside, they can't really like vacuum it up, so like they deploy these little itty bitty spindly like pincer arms that go like to like pick them up individually.
Oh my God.
And load them back into their bodies.
Oh my god, the vampires.
Yeah.
Kind of just...
For some reason,
they gotta count all the grains of sand.
Just imagine them with the
Yeah.
big straw fucking baskets, like in the.
It's that fucking droid from The Mandalorian that's like doing the fucking fishing, the weird, creepy like shrimp fishing droid that's got the long, spindly arms. It's in
Wow,
like
yeah.
the fourth
I'll need
episode of
screen grab of
the
this, 'cause
third
I-
episode of The Mandalorian.
You know
Something
how I
like
feel about droids.
that. But
That's
in any
the reason
event,
I watched the second season.
it's pretty good, honestly. So, again, I've ruined my voice. Apologies.
It's because
Oh,
he's
my
the
drink is
boss.
over here. I still haven't finished my energy drink.
Oh, pound it!
I don't want to
All
drink these bodily fluids.
Take that dragon to your face.
Pound it. All right, which one?
Pound that dragon in your face.
I'll take
Memneth-
any of the three. It's fine.
Memneth rescinds his ultimatum, essentially, to the school, saying that the culprit has been caught and accounted for, that there is no longer a threat to the school, that integrity and security have been reestablished, and that classes will resume as before. And he delivers this like he's saying, yes, the weather today will be partly cloudy. Like he's talking about people's lives, and it is so normal to him. The student body, a little frazzled. You definitely notice that some people are questioning their continued coursework here. Several people definitely are like, yeah, I need to not be on the school grounds for a little while. Fuck this noise. The people are upset, but they're kind of reestablishing back into normal. It was a tense time, but human beings we're resilient. We're springy. We tend to bounce back a bit.
Springy, like bumbles.
You
We bounce.
yes, much like bumbles, you bounce. A moment while I open. So, what's kind of your just next general moves as I check on some stuff here?
Oh, I think
I want to check out my room.
Like,
Well,
I haven't been
Okay.
able to do that.
You haven't, no.
are
I
you
wanna
moving
see
out
it.
of the dorm?
I want to see if there's enough room for 3 people.
Well, are they gonna even let us come with you?
We're not gonna have a choice.
Well, like I said, Artyom has laid
It's a
out his
sleepover.
plan already,
It's a sleepover.
and we won't have to worry about being separated if we occupy all 3 rooms in the student council's wing.
This is true.
There we go. Found what I was looking for.
That's the plan.
Um,
Like I said, we
Take
take over the school,
And then pizza.
and then pizza.
No.
You said
You're
you'd buy
making-
us anything.
I will buy you pizza, but you're making me hate it mainly because you called me.
Ice cream
Pizza.
Sinclair. Oh no.
I
that
did
one.
not call you pizza. I said that
got
you would
people
get
to call
pizza.
me pizza.
I did not tell them to do that. They did that on their own.
would you like me to order pizza?
No. Yes. You know what?
You said anything.
Yeah, they would
I
like
also-
pizza.
We should go shopping.
I have received 2 commands. They contradict. Error, error, error,
Broke them.
error, 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 error. It just roll. It just
Obstruction detected.
it goes up to the window, opens it, and just kind of like pulls itself out of the error. Boof. Error. 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 It's gone. As you're making your way through the school building upwards towards the west wing and the top floor, there's actually an elevator that leads up there.
Whoa, private elevator now.
I take the elevator.
That's why.
Yeah, when you get there, there's just there's no button. There's just like a white pad, and you go to like touch it, and it just in that referee voice, the elevator says, "Xandra Sinclair verified," and boom, the doors open, and you step inside.
Can
I
you
assume.
open
Or
the
do you take the
stairs
stairs?
that way?
Take the damn elevator.
But that's against the training.
This one time.
So train twice as hard next time. Take the stairs twice before you go to the room. Right?
We'll go all the way to the roof and then come back down.
Okay.
The elevator goes up. It like once you're inside, like once everybody's kind of situated inside, unauthorized users detected.
They are my friends, elevator. Am I not allowed to have friends?
Friends registered.
Thanks.
Cool.
Boom. And the doors close. And it goes up for a few floors. It's a very brief ride. You get out. And you're dumped in a hallway. There's obviously, like, off to your right, there's some stairs that are clearly the walking way up here. And then to your left, there's these big double doors with like big fancy handles. They're big fancy wooden doors. They've got like cool like embossed carving wood. Like imagine like just a big fancy cool double door made out of really nice wood. Like it's a nice like cherry wood. You know, it's got brass, what do I call them, hinges on it that look really nice. And above it on a little plaque, a little like bronze plaque, it just says Student Council Dorm. And then beneath that, Team 000.
Well, if it has enough space, I really don't want to slam my head into the ceiling anymore.
I think as you're staring at this door, the credits start appearing over the anime version of this, and the closing theme, the extended version of the closing theme starts to play. And you open the doors, and it does that thing of like as you open the doors, it's like white and shiny, and you can't see, and then your eyes adjust kind of thing. And yeah, dude, like this central area of it, it kind of it's huge. The opening area of it is bigger than your dorm, which is like a closet. It's so small, but this thing it has steps kind of down. It's I'm trying to think of like a gradiated kind of like you've got a level, and then it goes down a step, and then a level, and it goes down a step into kind of a central like pit essentially. In there's a big curvy sofa with like one of those gigantic round ottomans in the middle of it. It's like black. It looks like maybe it's leather. It's really nice. Against the wall opposite it, there is an enormous TV kind of set up onto the wall. Underneath that, there's a handful of different media players with a whole fucking slew of different media of whatever you got.
Really goddamn entitled.
Um,
For Sandra, this is normal.
Oh, wow.
Conversation pit. Yes, thank you, Ghoulie. There's a conversation pit in the middle of this thing. Off to the left, you see not a kitchenette, but a kitchen. It's got like a bar style countertop to it. There's a full huge refrigerator, oven with stovetop. It all looks pristine and great. There's nice dishes set aside into a little like China hutch thing. You then see a series of doors off to like the right hand side that just have 1, 2, and 3 on them. Again, like above at the top of the doors and little like bronze plaques, and which you presume leads into the rest of where your actual living you area is. You sitting on the sofa actually in what is she wearing?
I'll just live out here.
Mhm.
I can live in the kitchen.
With her hair kind of actually like pulled back in a low ponytail at the moment. She's wearing like workout gear actually. She's got kind of
I had a moment going,
a shelf
how long
bra.
has it been? A day.
Yeah, it's been a day.
It has been 1 day. Since our conversation.
Rin is sitting there and she's got a like a workout like tank on. It's like a racer back. You can tell it's got like a shelf bra kind of thing situated, and she's wearing like just some, she's just wearing like yoga pants because that's what she works out in, and she's kind of kicked back. She's got a towel over her shoulders, and she's like flipping through. She wouldn't be flipping through a magazine. Nobody reads magazines in 2021. She's got a tablet of some kind that she's like flicking through. And one of those gigantic bottles of water with the straw sticking out the top of it, just kind of like sitting there on the sofa next to her. And then past her on the far side of the room, you can see. So from inside, it looks like it's been dimmed or something, but you can tell from the shape that's their little overhang area that views down directly into the arena in West Hall.
Oh.
Oh man.
And that's what you see before you. The carpet is like, actually no, hang on, is there carpet? There's not. There's hardwood flooring and nice rugs.
Can't go command.
There's very fancy little sconces all around the room. Everything that's wood is, again, it's that same nice like cherry hardwood. It's gorgeous in here. It looks like money. This place is money. And there are no referees around at all.
That is nice.
The room may be a referee.
Hi, Rin.
It's about time you got. Who are they?
Hello.
Hi.
Friends.
She just kind of
Registered.
like awkwardly waves. Oh, and I should also mention, obviously, she's still got her left arm, bandaged up, and it's got the bands on it, by the way.
I figured that's a plot point. We'll never see her arm until it's time.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Like when someone has an eye patch and they take it off slowly in the episode preview.
Yeah. But I figured I should just mention that it's still bandaged up like that, yeah.
So, what is your technique?
Xandra, your friends are very strange. As the two of you enter the room, the lights in the room go red, and you just hear intruders detected, unauthorized personnel in Team 000 dorm.
They're my friends. Ceiling.
You say that and Rin laughs, and the ceiling says, users registered. And the lights go back to normal.
We belong here.
Yee. Oh, you weren't gonna high five me. I just thought we
It's
belong
okay.
here.
It's okay. It's the post match mix up. Do we go for the? Is it the? Oh, it's the. What is the?
Oh.
No, hold on. We belong. She just hops up and down like this. We belong here.
Xandra blinks.
Okay, well, it's and she kind of stands up and stretches a bit. Well, I was just taking a little break from a workout. If you'd like a moment to check out the new uh surroundings, you feel free. She just kind of keeps like glancing at Esme and RTM, just like as she's trying to talk to Zed, like, if you want to,
You're the one who said to expect them, right? You wished us luck.
Yeah, I just didn't wish them here.
Ah, I'm going to go investigate the kitchen to see if there is space for meal planning.
Artyom,
He's
You
not gonna
guys-
break anything, is he?
Only doors.
Artyom, no! And Xander goes after him towards the kitchen. You just hear from the other
feel
room,
like that's-
leave doors alone!
I feel like that's the perfect, like, cut spot for the end of the episode.
That's like the two of you run off, and like we hear the clattering in the kitchen, and then Rin just kind of like turns and looks back because Rin's just left there with Esme, and then just kind of like looks back at Esme while she's sitting there holding her little tablet, and just like looks at her.
Esme just holds eye contact and is just.
And there, yeah. Is there anything
Doors
anybody
in the
wanted
kitchen.
to touch on in the next day, in the next week, in the next month? Like anything that you would cut to as an epilogue for these characters as like the outro here. I want to give the players a quick chance to touch base with anything, to talk to anything, to do
You're
anything.
basically letting us continue this, and if you let us continue this,
We're gonna keep going.
we're
It's
gonna
never going to
It's not.
end.
Yeah, you.
Oh no, I can really end, but I wanted, because like it's gonna be a while before we can really get to stuff, because like you've got those files if you wanted to dig into them. If anybody wanted to check up on Carla real quick, you can.
More of a declaration than a description.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're declaring intent for what we're doing then.
Yeah, kind of. Like, yeah, like this is like some still image shit. As we drop out the dialogue, but then bring up the music of the closing theme.
I also want to know about the training, or if that has to wait to the next season.
I'm okay with waiting for a lot of
Files
things
first,
to
then training.
Okay, files, please.
Sure. You pick up some stuff actually, now that you got a chance to sit down and really read through it. Like we see an image of Xandra like looking through the stuff on there. You get so yeah, you get the details on A Striker. It's pretty much what you knew before. Like he was a kid in the program that Esme was in, just well before she was ever put into it. His whole thing is it was the early days before they could figure out the whole ghost thing. They were just trying to kind of fire off an experiment, and one of their thoughts and experiments was, well, maybe there's a connection to dreams between us and the land beyond. And the answer was, haha, no, what are you, stupid? But it meant that they created somebody that could listen, it's not me, it's the cult. Sorry.
Smacking. the wrist.
And so what they ended up developing was a guy that could like look into people's dreams and indeed bring them into dreams with him. But which you suspect is probably what happened to you, but beyond that, his power did not reach into the land beyond the veil. You get some experimental logs. They're brutal. They're a rough read. They're not great.
Xandra will make sure she reads them because one of her friends lived through them.
You recognize Brooke because you actually got to see her normal style. And you see that, yeah, something about her was that you're able to piece together the reason that she ended up friggin' burning to death and why Luther stopped Esme from trying to do anything about it, is that she had some kind of weird, what they're not sure what it is. They write it down as contagion fire, and that it spreads and it can't be put out. Anything it touches, it just kind of goes on to. So they elected, again, this is very coldly put in the experimental logs, to let subject burn itself out for integrity of facility. It's grim. But you kind of pick up what their basic goals and idea was, and it's that they're trying to create a medium they're trying to create a bridge point between our mortal place and being and whatever's next, where the ghosts are, essentially. And their way of doing this was by uh, getting people very attached to each other and then fucking slaughtering all but one of them. And in
There's that
Esme's
Promised
case,
Neverland shit.
in Esme's case, it worked.
I mean,
Pretty close.
that vibe.
There was some inspiration. And it produced a viable medium, and its name is Esmeralda Akar, subject whatever. She can talk to the dead. Unfortunately, they've been unable to recreate that in any of the other pods. In fact, they're not even sure if it can be reproduced or if this is something weirdly unique to Esmeralda. But that's what they were doing. Yeah, they've been trying. That being said, you can tell that this was the only operation. You pick out little bits and pieces that say like, hey, essentially, we got scattered to the winds years ago, tried to bring everything together, centralized, and this is our last shot at this shit. And you just blew it all up. So, yay!
I didn't. They blew themselves up. I
Good
just
counter.
pushed the
True.
button.
Mm-hmm.
Completely blameless.
Completely.
You get one other thing, too. The most recent thing in the file. And there's a communication log. There's names, but you don't recognize them. They're coded. It's like between, I don't know, like G and L. You know, like they don't. It doesn't ring any bells. It seems completely, who knows. But you twig to the fact that you think this might have been what your father was warning you about. There are two parties exchanging a deal here where it's, you let us continue and don't raid this location. And we think we have a key to utilizing dragon tech. And the other party says that your operations will proceed unabated.
Fucking government is corrupt as shit.
Always.
Xandra's sitting in a sweatshirt and her own yoga pants or leggings with fuzzy slippers and the hood up. Bangs are messy. Makeup is like just over a laptop. Just been staring at this stuff for hours, and it's just like and flips the laptop across the room at the last thing.
You flip the laptop at that, and you're grumbling and stumping around, and ooh, ha, and it lands. And we're gonna see something on that laptop in just a second. Artyom. You're having a minute alone, kind of like looking at your arms again, regarding the nature of them, what they are, what they represent, the strange history from them that you still don't have all the answers to. But this is a good day because you're expecting a visitor, or at least that's the message that you got. It was weirdly vague from the front gates that someone was here to see you. And so, where would you meet someone who said that they wanted to see you in the school?
Probably in the lobby of the dorm,
Okay.
if there was like a
Totally.
if there's some kind of like supposed like we have to go to a visitor center if that was required.
No, there's
Yeah,
no,
or
there isn't.
Lobby of the
No
dorm.
visitor center. Lobby of the dorm. You're sitting down there, and in the background, Stellar Age is going on. The anime club hanging out there. We see Dougie kind of just sitting there. He's got his headphones on, but he's still watching the show. Monty is there, and he kind of like squints and blinks and tilts his head every so often, but he just kind of shakes his head and shrugs, like, I guess it's just anime then. Okay, trying to follow along.
Depends on the one you're watching.
And the door opens up. Artyom, do you know what your mother looks like?
Yeah. She's
Care to describe her?
Artemom.
Artemom.
Artemom!
Artymiam. So what does Artymiam look like?
Artemom.
She's tall as well. Not like, if you could take Brigitte Nielsen from Rocky 4, but like soften her up in like a personality sense. So like if you took Brigitte Nielsen from Rocky 4 and Mercy from Overwatch and kind of put them together.
Okay, I can see that.
Rocky Yolanda.
Ivan Drago's interpreter / girlfriend wife person. I'll show you a picture later.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You're kind of sitting there half paying attention to this show you've basically memorized, and you glance over at the door and she's standing there, and there's a part of me that wants to be like, and she's sensibly dressed, and there's a part of me that wants to be like, and she's got an Ushanka on.
She walked in looking like fucking Colleen.
Yeah, she's in the coat and everything, just like she walks in and she's kind of got like the furry pea coat and the hat, and
I'm okay with that.
She smiles and walks over to you, Artyom, and
immediately gets up, runs over, hugs her, picks her up, swings her around.
Oh yeah, because she's like a head shorter than you at least.
Yeah, she's still tall, but
not that tall.
Doesn't have the tallness of plot on her side.
And there's smiles and hugging and tears, and as you kind of release, she's still holding your two hands, and she kind of like looks at them and then looks at you and has this very sort of forlorn but also like, I'm so proud of my son, and I'm so sorry that there's things I need to tell you. And she just kind of like looks up at you and in Russian says like, we have so much to talk about.
Yes, we do. I have learned things. And I would like answers. As good as it is to see you.
And you will have them, little one. Come. And we go to Esme. Esme, you're over in the what do you call it? The it's not a hospital, but it's like the medical building, essentially. The pseudo hospital.
What'd I do?
No. No. You're
I
You're
promise
fine.
that maybe not an accident. What'd I do?
You're in a room and your friend is on the bed. It's Carla.
What'd
Carla
I do?
is in a
It's the log. It's just the log. She's stuck.
Tries to pet.
She's stuck in log. You know what? Actually, yes. It's Esmeralda, and she's going into a hospital room. And what gift would you bring a friend who is sick in the hospital?
What did you have Xandra order for you to bring to Carla?
Yeah, pretty much. Got a brand new pair of Tabby socks.
Oh my god!
Right,
And they're
like,
in. Are they in like a nice little box with like a bow around it?
Yeah, but it's like the really sleek,
it's a clear
like, black
top
box, you know. So it looks like I'm gonna propose, but it's Tabby socks from Amazon.
Totally. And you come through the door, and you're all like smiles and happiness, like, hey, I'm gonna go hang out with my friend. And as you kind of like back through the door as you're holding it, and you look at the bed, and there's just a log with like an IV running into it, and the scarf around it. How do you react?
Takes the box. He's at the edge of the bed. He just places a box next to her. Hi.
And Carla drops off the ceiling on top of you.
You're scared.
At which point she rolls off of you and just is pointing and laughing. She's wearing like a hospital gown, and is just like cry laughing at you.
I see dead people.
Oh man. Oh, that never gets old. That'll never get old. Ah. And then she just gives you a big old hug.
God,
Flops.
it's the Guile walking in on dead Chun-Li at the end of the Street Fighter movie.
Oh god.
I'll share it on the Discord. It's a great little moment.
Yeah.
The two of you are going about like having a moment, laughing, chortling, being friendly friends, when suddenly Xandra bursts into the room.
I do.
Her eyes completely in the like I've been up all night. Her hair
Oh.
just like pointed off at a 45-degree angle.
Staying
The
stylish.
Still in the
bangs.
sweats and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, the bangs straight up the other direction.
Whoa.
Blows in, holding her laptop not like properly, but by the screen, and is just like looking around like wild-eyed.
Wait, I can make everyone uncomfortable. Wait, don't do it. Wait, no.
Hold on.
Wait.
Oh, that. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah. So she's doing that then. In my head, it was like just flopping around by the screen.
I can plot it
But
too.
she looks like she's. Yeah, she looks manic, like that, and she's like panicked, freaked out, and she turns and finds Esme, and just jabs a finger at the screen and shoves it into Esme's face.
Oh. Oh, it's fun.
Oh god, it's our faces!
Yeah, it is.
What am I...
Esme,
what am I looking
Esme, you have a sibling.
at? What? What? What are you talking about?
I'm really fucking tired. Read it yourself.
Okay. Carla, there's a box on your bed for you.
Ooh, Tabby. And we see Esme look at the screen, and her eyes go as wide as dish plates. And we cut, and it's just the black and the credits rolling. Except that as the credits roll, we realize it's not completely black because we're hearing a news report. Lockdown was lifted at Firebrand Academy as reports are coming out of yada yada yada, basically explaining everything that happened and that everything's kind of gone back to normal. Students have resumed classes and yada yada yada, and we realize we're in a hotel room, and it's a woman's form. We see her kind of from the waist down. She's wearing like a gray t-shirt and jeans as she's kind of walking around this hotel room, like picking up a glass of water, putting it back down, looking over at the TV. And as the camera kind of goes traces up her back, we catch the back of her head, and it's covered in sort of this shaggy pink hair. And she reaches over to a coat hook by the door and pulls on this leather jacket, this leather bomber jacket. And before, like, she puts a hand onto the handle to step out, but before she does, she stops and reaches down, and we see the camera follow her hand down, and as it grabs a very ornate looking straight bladed sword with a basket hilt that we definitely saw on a mantelpiece at one point earlier this season. The moment her hand is around that, it cuts to black. And that is where we're going to leave this season.
Yay.
I added the very important note. Oh fuck! In my actual notes. Oh fuck.
Yep.
So,
Oh, holy shit.
thank you everyone. I know we ran just slightly late tonight, but it's a finale. We tend to do those things.
Like 5
this
minutes.
That's
is
fine.
Bad at all.
We've
Well,
done
you
worse.
know.
We did worse like 2 weeks ago with Pirate
fair.
Cities.
But regardless,
But for the best
so
reasons.
yeah, that is season 1 in a nutshell. That is complete. But hold the phone, because then a little thing comes up that says, like, stay tuned next week. It's the we're gonna do an OVA episode. It's gonna be outside of this plot line. It's gonna be its own special contained thing. If you saw the OVA 1 at Christmas, same type deal. It's gonna be its own little capsule episode that we're doing next week.
Spring break!
So this. We're going to the beach, y'all.
We're getting wet. That was perfect timing.
No, that was.
Aw.
I mean, your favorite part of tonight hasn't happened yet, right? No.
You tried to summon
That
it.
was
The
it.
end of the
That was-
season.
I
we
know.
did the fucking ending song over. Your stinger was someone with pink hair and a sword. That was your stinger.
I know.
So yeah, I gotta sign us off now. But remember, come back again. There is but one more special episode yet remaining. One more trip, one last dance before we put these kids into the rest box on the shelf for a while. That's a terrible thing to say.
Not again.
So
It's gonna be in a quarter.
Uh-oh.
Oh wait.
start from one side of that room and no, there's no stinger and it's definitely not that. Shadlin, shut the fuck up. She wants the stinger to be maximum in a thong.
Don't. I drew that.
With
Just
me
in the
from a
spa.
bar.
Cake.
Connery.
Cassandra
Nope, I'm
Lee.
not leaving maximum at the last word of this. And I am Fox, reminding all of you out there in internet land to stay evil. Night, folks.